Welcome back, ladies and skeletons. How's it going, everybody? Hope we're doing well. It is a Tuesday. Got the clap, 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 clap. Thank you, Pass the Remote. This is a good remix. I was always on the hunt for more YouTube songs to play. Hey, Lonely Soli. Hey, Ecdysis. Hey, Cerulean. Let's not
Ludwig World, something like that, right? So he rolled up.
Let's not waste a single moment. Let's get right into it. Let's start where it all ends at the Twitter, because man, for months there, I was just skipping the Twitter segment because there was just nothing going on. Now, DSP, emboldened by the flame of Dent Bition, is engaging more on his Twitter than ever before. Remember when Twitter was just for business? We didn't use Twitter for anything but business tweets. I guess that was all out the window. All that shit about changing, improving, it was all just a thinly veiled facade. All you needed was a couple of drama queens to be like, hey, have you tried just being an asshole? Why do people tune into my content? And one butt-spreading Canadian was like, hey, just be a dick. And he was like, okay. That's all it took. Tomorrow, that is today, tomorrow is a huge day. Join me for a chill podcast at the premiere of Black Myth Wukong on my first stream. If that's not big enough, then join me for my first big co-op stream ever in Chained Together with Kino Casino and Mutahar in the late shift. Hype overload incoming! All caps, 3 exclamation marks. The first big co-op ever. I guess Kat just doesn't exist anymore. If they had broken up, I would believe it, because she just doesn't exist at all, I guess. Black Myth Wukong and Chained Together with Mutahar. WPIG is going to be restreaming the Chained Together stuff. I don't know, I might stream later. I might take a short break and then come back and watch the Chained Together shit with a couple of drinks in me. More Black Myth Wukong, and then Thursday's the day off. I don't know if I should take Thursday off as well. I need to take either Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which one. I guess I'll figure it out. What are we tweeting? AIM says, grow some balls then, King. Let's talk, bitch boy. Tell your mom to put the brush down and let's talk, King B bitch. And DSP says, this is the intelligence level of my average detractor.
I'm gay, totally gay.
I don't know. The sentence seemed pretty decipherable to me. I was able to read it pretty easily. You know what's really difficult to decipher? Jade. Let's not talk about Jade, though. We can't point at a Jade tweet and say this is the intelligence level of the average DSP fan. Instead of, let's take this tweet that isn't even really all that hard to understand and say, this is the average level of intelligence of the people who don't like me. Okay. Can we look at Derek? Can we say this is the average DSP fan? Is that fair? I don't know, man. He's retweeting himself and replying to himself. So that's cool. Really positive Twitter etiquette. What is he even responding to begin with? Ollie Oxenfree, whoever this is, Haddonfield, who I think I've seen this guy pop up in some people's comments. I don't know. And let's see, his Twitter, it's very average, very cringe, very basic bitch stuff. Wow. This guy sure does tweet. Tweets all the things that you would see pop up in your random timeline if you were logged out of Twitter. Retweeting stuff that Mr. Medicare has retweeted, so he just seems like just a basic shit stirrer. Retweeting Mr. Medicare. Jeez. Here's a bunch of the members, including known detractors in the community. They immediately erased the server when I showed someone that it merely was a real thing. I've never been to this Discord. I've never even heard of this Discord existing. So, no skin off my back. I'm in like 5 Discords. I'll even show you. I'll expose it. Let's see, we got the, this is, what is it? Turkey Tom, actually. This is his Discord. This is Good Boy Points. I never go into like half of these. The Turkey Tom one, Good Boy Points. This is Tevin. This is Detractor Beam. That being said, Anleet. This is Chill Murray. Theo. And this is just AI stuff. Pika. These are all the Discords I'm in. So there are plenty of Discords, Phil. They're not secret. You're just not allowed in them. Hey, Hayabusa Feather. How's it going? But apparently this one, it was, what was it? It was like, let's see, what was going on here? Never even heard of this Discord. TXT and Bill Furnell is who ran this one. But I guess they closed it because nobody was talking in it. But DSP is gonna see this as a major win, a major win. One of many, I'm sure. Okay, so, like, you didn't actually win anything at all, because... What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. A Discord nobody cared about closed. Let's pretend like that's a big victory. Like, isn't it funny how he just, like, he tells people, oh, you need to go get a life and then you be happy and then everyone will be happy and I want the best for everyone. But then... by your own perception, they leave, and then you're like, ha ha ha, get fucked, stupid. I outlasted you again, you suck, I hit you, ha ha ha, I'm winning because you gave up. It's like, okay. So you lose. And nobody wants to make you happy at all. It was called hashtag Dave. You should have called it hashtag the short bus with these members. Wow, okay. Again, let's not point to the actual mentally disabled people in your own community. This arc is frustrating. Just have fun with it. He's like Mr. What was it? Not Garrison. Who was the other teacher in South Park? He like takes a hit of acid and then his head inflates and he just like floats around the city. Mr. Mackey. Yeah, him. Drugs are bad, okay? And he's just like floating around. He's completely detached from reality. That's Twitter, I guess. Our business-oriented Twitter is just calling people walnut brains. Okay, calling people dented, that's heinous and offensive and just shows you how terrible people are. But we can call people mouth droolers, walnut brains. Okay, Phil. This is a guy who who tried screwing in a screw in drywall and thought that it had come out of the other side into the other room. This is a very smart dude we're dealing with here. What's his tweet? Anime sad news. Yeah, I did see this. Famed voice actress for Bayonetta, Nier's Kaine, JoJo's Lisa sadly passed away. Which gives a whole lot of gravitas to Bayonetta 3 being the last Bayonetta. It's very sad. Play Bayonetta 3 if you haven't yet. Very good game. I wonder if we're gonna see anything those characters or not. I finished editing the It's a Gundam video for Borderlands. The first 0% Rotten Potatoes movie. Let's take a listen.
I was minding my own business on August 9th, then boom! One of my old videos got hit for making fun of the Borderlands trailer. I kinda paid it no mind. Then I was hit again on the 12th for the same video. I had every intention of ignoring Borderlands since it seemed like a film that was so bad it wasn't even worth pirating, let alone paying attention to. There was a reason why the film debuted with a 0 score from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which I've never seen before in my entire life. And the only reason why it didn't get lower than a 0 is because there's no way to give a film negative points as of yet, but I think Rotten Tomatoes should look into it. So, out of pure spite, I decided to review this soulless, poorly planned abortion of a film. I checked the local big theaters in my area. They were all empty since the film launched. I'm not even kidding. So, I went to go watch Borderlands, and even filmed myself alone in the screening, because I felt like a millionaire. I was shopping on Temu.
People are stoked for this film. Oh man, I can't wait.
After wasting an hour watching this film, I've come to the conclusion that this is your bog standard movie video game adaptation where it's based loosely on a successful intellectual property and came out 5 to 10 years too late. Borderlands, the movie, is a mixture of Borderlands 1, 2, and maybe 3. Honestly, this film is all over the place. The original screenplay writer, after seeing the revisions that were made to his work, decided he did not want his name attached to it. So they removed his name from the credits and gave him some other name like, I don't know, Handsome Butt Juice. Or maybe Butt Stallion, that would have been funny. Claptrap alone being voiced by Jack Black instead of David Eddings or Jim Foronda was proof enough that this would be absolute trash.
That's right, Claptrap. And just a small plug, I had to get into incredible shape for this role with my nude scene late in the second act.
The film wanted to throw in as many celebrities that it could afford as possible, praying to God that this would get more butts and seats, and I quote. Tiny Tina is the MacGuffin of the movie. Instead of her surviving her parents' torture and subsequent death, where she escaped with...
This is a really gross scene in here. So they're driving through an area called like Pissland or some dumb shit. And like this girl is supposed to be 12 years old, right? So they're driving through Pissland and they're telling her to roll up the window and she's like, I don't wanna. And so like Pissland pisses all over through the window and it goes in her mouth and she's like, it's in my mouth. And so some writer, Eli Roth or whoever wrote it, was like, okay, in our movie, let's put piss in a 12-year-old's mouth and that'll be the joke. And you're just thinking, man, is Hollywood just like playing chicken with the average American to the point where like once they get dragged out of their hair by their mansions, they're like, well, they're either going to be like, oh no, we're victims, or you're going to be like, well, I saw this coming. I guess it was only a matter of time. Don't need to go into detail. I'll get banned off of Twitch. Also, how many times in movies are we gonna say it's in my mouth? It got in my mouth. Like it's like the go-to punchline for really bad comedy writers who are lazy.
Her surviving her parents' torture and subsequent death, where she escaped with a grenade. I'm paraphrasing and keeping it short. And the events drove Tiny Tina insane. She is now a clone of the Iridians. I probably got the name wrong, but I don't care. And she was created by the owner of one of the mega corporations. Conveniently, the villain was also named Atlas. And the whole plan was to use...
Why did we make, like, Atlas the villain? Like, isn't Atlas one of the gun manufacturers and not an actual character in Borderlands? It's just the name of one of the many gun brands in Borderlands. It's, like, written by people who didn't even play the game.
Her to open the vault of Pandora. This choice of character origin change doesn't explain why Tiny Tina loves explosives. In fact, many of the characters had their origins changed. So once again, your typical Hollywood adaptation where nothing makes sense.
Remember the Max Payne movie from 2008? Anyone see that? It's so boring. And then there's like a scene like an hour into it where there's like a gunfight scene, but it all happens off camera. Like the camera is on the other side of an open door, and you're just seeing through the door, and like Mark Wahlberg dives from like one end of the open door to the other, and then you just hear like gunshots and like light flashes through the door, and then that's the big fight scene. The way to not understand Max Payne. And then there's Monster Hunter from 2020, the Mila Jovovich vehicle, directed by her husband because nepotism is real.
Sense. So you may as well look at it as an
Remember the Resident Evil live-action show with Black Wesker, who acted nothing at all like Wesker, to the point where he might as well have been something else, been another character other than Wesker.
alternate universe. Did I mention that the girl who plays Tiny Tina is the annoying Latin girl from the Barbie movie? Yeah, this kid's movie choices are terrible. But it's not like she's a great actress, so what does it matter?
You represent everything wrong with our culture.
Sexualized capitalism.
Tiny Tina being the daughter of Atlas is obviously lifted from the character type of Handsome Jack and his daughter being Angel. There's also the orbital laser, once again the weapon of Handsome Jack that Atlas uses in the film. This is a really bad reimagining of a great villain and storyline, just completely condensed and homogenized. Kurg is in the film, and his origin story is
Is it called Kurg, or did Gundam fuck that one again? It sounds like his name is Krieg, but I guess we're just gonna say Kurg, because who cares?
completely skipped. He could have been the
He's like a character from the DLC of Borderlands 3. I never played Borderlands 3. I finished Borderlands 1, like when it came out, so way too long to even remember much about it. And I played 2, but I didn't finish it.
perfect candidate
I think I got like halfway through it.
to be the one to do the voiceovers for all the scenarios. You know, Kurg's sane personality doing the voiceovers, because nobody hears Kurg's sane personality. You just hear the crazy version of Kurg. And that would have been funny and an inside joke, but whatever. Instead, they had Lilith do the narrations for what's going on like 3 times.
Like, what is it? This is actually from the movie. This attack that Lilith does here, or just Kate old shit. She like does like a Wonder Woman arm cross, and then the camera cuts. You don't even really see her leg go up. It just sort of like leans back. And then this guy gets kicked in the face so hard he gets knocked through a box.
For what's going on like 3 times and then never again. Speaking of Lilith,
Isn't it funny? Like, am I the only one who can tell whenever these digitized gun flares happen? Like, they look so fake. It's obviously just added in post.
she is now an old woman. She's also an Iridian, which she is the key to opening the vault. And
Like, what about this one?
she's also an Iridian.
She gets like fucking T-boned into a box by some guy. We don't see him again. I guess he just dies.
Which
He just immediately dies somehow. Like, I guess his neck breaks or something.
she is the
And then she pops out of the box.
key to opening
Like a fucking Jack in the Box.
the vault.
Sweet.
And opening the vault turns her to a siren. If you know the story of Borderlands, you probably won't enjoy this film. Now, long story short, she's the true daughter of the Iridians. There was a flashback to her childhood where her mother wasn't just a strong, independent, single mother, but she was also a brilliant scientist. In the video game, she was raised by her father, who then died, and then later on, you know, she got the siren powers. We're just moving on. That was in the comic book, though. Whatever. And let's be real here. Cate Blanchett was here to pick up
I almost forgot that Borderlands had a comic book.
a check. And it was
Look how old she looks. You know what they should have done? If they really cared about the game and they really cared about making like a work of art, they should have done it like cell shaded like the video games. Like if you've seen A Scanner Darkly, or like, you know, Joel Haver movies, or his, you know, his YouTube videos, his skits. Should have just had Joel Haver directed even. Would have been way better.
painful.
Instead, we just gotta do the movie tie-in thing and just make it as quickly and cheaply and lazily as possible.
Obvious from watching her deliver
Look how much he stumbles around.
her lines in this movie. It was 100 minutes of wasted life. How Eli Roth thought geriatric
No. Dirt.
action scenes with
An action hero here.
Cate Blanchett was what
And I know I didn't really have a whole lot of footage from the movie, but there was a really long, like behind the scenes featurette. So I used a lot of that footage in this, and it just makes it even funnier because it's all you know, post effects. Everyone looks so just weird and fake.
the movie needed to push it forward was just an absolute masterstroke of being completely and utterly disconnected from the cultural zeitgeist and reality. Did he not see the Dial of Destiny or Time with Harrison
didn't.
Ford's old ass pretending to still be
This is like the big action scene in the movie, and Harrison Ford is just like sitting in a car, just sitting in the back seat.
an action man? It's nothing short of pathetic.
This is this big scene where he reaches and he opens a door. Oh boy.
There's a
Can we stop with like the old people as action heroes? Either that or like actually make them formidable. I don't know, man.
reason
I
why
can't do
black
it.
women easily beat up old
This is a disturbing scene, so I put like a PNG over the old lady. They blurred it out. They did like a mosaic effect on her lower body, but still, it was even gross, so I had to censor it even more.
people in old folks' homes. They can't defend themselves because their bones are made of
Get
paper
fucked, old
mache.
lady.
Kevin Hart plays Roland. This is the perfect casting for an SNL skit, if SNL was still funny, or a cosplaying live stream with Kai. Kevin Hart did an interview where he explains to you how he doesn't know what the hell his character is about. It's pretty funny if you watch it. There won't be a sequel to this film, so you don't have to worry about watching Kevin Hart, and I was about to call her Kathy Bates. I really don't remember her name. Kate Blanchett make out because, as you know, in Borderlands,
great action scene.
Roland and Lilith hook up, but whatever, that's a different... Who cares? Who cares? None of this matters. Jamie Lee Curtis is another miscasting of Tannis. I'll give her this. She might have been the only person in this whole film who had some semblance of an idea of what her character's personality is, because Tannis has autism and she sucks at human interactions.
I was listening to her dialogue, just like a video of just all Tannis lines, and I'm like, I remember all this dialogue. It's crazy.
To keep it short,
He's like, I ate bugs in alphabetical order. And like, this is before I really like knew what autism was.
because Tannis
Like, she's weird.
has autism and she sucks at human interactions. To keep it short, Atlas is the big villain instead of Handsome Jack, so I call him Blandsome Jackass. That's as far as I'm going with that guy. He really didn't matter. The movie starts off with a bad fight scene and short jokes for Kevin Hart. Big funny. The movie doesn't follow the lore of the video games, so the whole opening segment doesn't make any sense. The lore of the
wire
video
work.
games. So the whole opening
Like, they don't even really jump.
Hart. Big funny.
Just,
The movie
like,
doesn't
no
follow
weight
the
to it.
lore of the video games, so the whole opening
I guess the planet of Pandora has lower gravity, and that explains it.
segment doesn't make any sense to any viewer, whether you're new to it or you're a fan of Borderlands, because it kind of just has this vibe like you're supposed to know what's going on off the rip. Then we get the Kate Blanchett old girl boss energy. There are more filters on her face than a Brita water pitcher. Basically,
You know what I like about the behind the scenes stuff is it's before there's like all the filtering and like the smoothest correction, so you can see like all the lines and wrinkles on her neck.
fight scene.
Like, I should have compared this to the actual scene from the trailer, just so you can see like a side by side of like post filter. Like, look at her neck here. Like, this is how you tell a lady is old, is her neck.
Was with
But you can put all the makeup on in the
a
world.
bunch of men
You can't undo that neck.
half her age and 2 to 3 times her size, and she takes them out so incredibly easy.
Like, why are her legs? It's like pointed straight up into the air.
Men half
This seems like a really bad way to like do a roll.
her age and 2 to 3 times her size, and she takes them out so incredibly easy and fast that it was
Just for balance.
just absolute ridiculous. She was large and in charge the whole time. Man, oh man, it was great. You could tell by the sound of my voice how much I enjoyed it. Pandora looks like San Francisco. What a treat. The actors have absolutely no chemistry together, and it felt like I was watching a low-budget streaming service where everybody was there to just make a little bit of money and then walk off. This movie was the longest hour and 40 minutes of my life. If you told me I was watching it for 3 hours, I would have believed you because it just seemed so painstakingly long. But it really wasn't. Borderlands is a nonsensical waste of film, with pacing issues that can be best described as attention deficit disorder meets the popular Midwestern drug known as speed. I can only imagine how much footage they left on the cutting room floor, because nothing made sense. It was just so discombobulated. Needless to say that the writing was predictable. It had very Birds of Prey energy, while attempting to mimic the Guardians of the Galaxy, but not having 1/10 of the charm, witticism, or chemistry of that cast working together.
You know, it's so rare that you have that experience like a Guardians of the Galaxy or Empire Strikes Back or a RoboCop, you go, wow.
This is him talking about his own movie. It's so egotistical. My movie's so good. It's rare you see movies this good, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Empire Strikes Back and RoboCop, where you're just like, wow. And he's like describing his own creation. That's so cringy.
That was so good.
Wow. That's what you would say if you were watching my movie. You'd be like, this is like Guardians of the Galaxy. Wow, it's so cool. It's so rare you see movies like this. It's like, get out of your own ass, dude.
Every attractive female character is played by a woman past
So
her prime by
ridiculous.
a minimum of 20 years, which was the oddest choice one could.
Big up someone to give credit to this artist on DeviantArt. I went on DeviantArt and I was looking up Borderlands art. This is one of the better ones. I like art that celebrates beauty. So I gave a Quirkalicious here a nice shout out. Hope it'll get copyright struck. Who knows on DeviantArt? Some people are like hyper political. They're like, oh my god, my art got used in this alt-right Nazis video. I gotta get it taken down.
Could make for such a film, considering how much Rule 34 there is for a lot of the female Borderland characters. Mad Moxie was played by Gina Gershon, who would have been perfect for this role if it was 1994 and not 2024.
She looks like the Mad Moxie from Poker Night. Just bored.
You know, you have one badass, strong, tough, cool woman after the other. You know, all the way down to Ariana. I mean,
in one of the behind the scenes things I was saying, I think it was Kate Blanchett, she's like, I guess I never played it before, but Borderlands is apparently like the king of first person shooters, or should I say the queen of first person shooters. Nah. So anyways, I talked to my kids about it and asked them about Borderlands, and they were like, yeah, I've heard of this video game. And so then I looked it up, and there's so many people of all shapes and sizes. There's men playing it. There's men playing it. There's women playing it. And the women, they span all different shapes. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, that's a really polite way of saying fat women play video games.
Jamie Lee.
There's so many different people who play this game. Women of all different,
you fucking rat.
of all different shapes and sizes. And it's like, okay, why did we need to bring that up?
Kate.
There's fat people who play this game, Kay.
Who's cooler there?
Let's rewind
you know,
a little
all the way down to Ariana. I mean, Jamie Lee, tough, cool woman after.
Like, what is this?
You know, you have one badass, strong, tough, cool woman after the other. You know, all the way down to Ariana. I mean,
all the way down to Ariana.
You look at my moose.
Like, isn't that like a subtle insult? There's some badass, cool women. There's Kate Blanchett. There's all the way down to this girl.
Jamie Lee, Kate, who's cooler than them?
Me.
You know, me.
I guess they really had to stop the male gaze at all cost. It's GILF energy all day and all night. There's one point where cost.
GILF energy. I thought he said guilt energy until just now.
It's GILF energy all day and all night. There's one point where Kate Blanchett yells at Jamie Lee Curtis about Curtis leaving her with bandits when she was a child, and all I could think was like, both of these women are incredibly old. Like, who's the younger one of the two? What is this? I'm supposed to be getting youth and energy from Kate Blanchett, and it really doesn't have that vibe. It more or less felt like the Golden Girls in fucking space. Later on, we find that Tiny Tina isn't the special one, and that Lilith was the key the whole time. But remember, Tiny Tina is still special, but just in a different way. It was very touching and moving. I couldn't wait to peel myself out of my seat and piss ferociously on the side of the movie theater. I'll say that Borderlands is a very female-focused film where all the male characters have absolutely no agency. Even the villain felt like some sort of background character that was never really a threat in any real way at any point in time. I think Handsome Jack would have been the villain that this film needed to push it forward, but to flush out a character like Handsome Jack, this movie would have to be a trilogy, and there was no way in hell this wasn't going to be a one and done. The ending was very open-ended, just in case someone at the studio lost their mind and was crazy enough to greenlight a sequel, which will not happen. This film's really bad. I've never heard of Eli Roth till now, but he's a perfect example of failing upwards, because this film should be enough to kill his career. But it looks like his entire career is basically releasing movies that bomb. And this is another feather in his cap. I really don't know what to say about this. One news publication had an opinion piece called Borderlands isn't the worst movie of the year, despite what the internet wants you to think. And I'm going to say that this is probably one of the worst films I've ever seen. It might be one of the worst films ever made, actually. And the fact that it only made $8 million when they are praying to God they do $10 million in a weekend says a lot. This isn't going to make its money back. This is a complete and utter loss.
So I included Borderlands footage for the end credits. Like the games aren't bad. Like they're okay. Like I like my first person shooters. I wonder if there's like a VR patch. I might give it a shot in VR. I know there's a lot of VR support in Half-Life. I might play that one. About 2 weeks until I get my Quest 3. I can't wait. Borderlands comes to streaming services this weekend. Speaking of things that won't have a sequel and just end on really bad sequel bait, is the Acolyte. Remember the Acolyte? Which is so funny because the series ended on the hero being turned into a villain and the villain being turned into like an 8-year-old mentally. And so I guess this is where it ends. That's where the story ends. The hero becomes a villain, the villain becomes baby brain, and that's it. There's your conclusion. Cool, what a great story. This is Star Wars. The Power of One season. The power of many
I
disappointments.
want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable
Yes.
margin. And are you excited about that? Are you bracing yourself?
Star Wars. Not the
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this?
Man.
This is going to be a talking point.
When your sexuality is the most
I'm
important
sure
aspect of
nerds are
yourself,
gay.
you are
Some nerds are
boring.
not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But
Yeah.
in my
You are
world,
one
nerds are
boring
gay.
person.
Was this the fun element of?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly
You're offended?
into it. No.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me with a straight face that C-3PO is straight?
They're a couple. That's what I think. But this is more outward.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
That was a Family Guy joke.
Oh my god!
Know your fucking place, trash.
And watching it, you could just sense the power in the hall. And it was the power of joy, the power of laughter, the power of hope for the future.
Power. Oh boy. That's a lot to go through. A little bit. We got a little bit of content here. Got some Rev stuff. DSP's playing Wukong. I'll be sure to tune in late.
I'm not goddamn gay!
So I can skip through it. But I wonder if he's gonna read off these tweets. These absolute fire banger tweets. He can make it a new segment. DSP Feltsum. Where he just reads.
Stop being gay!
He just reads Twitter tweets he makes where he thinks he's totally owning people. That'd be funny.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here.
Like, what is this? This person, this individual. I forgot the name already because they literally don't matter. What was it? Sorry. I'm just scrolling right now trying to find it. Jeez, I'm trying to remember. But I'm being dumb right now. Fuck it.
Here. So today we're going to be looking at a situation where one artist made a call-out post against one of their competitors, and it's going to backfire very horribly because they falsely accused them of using AI to produce their artwork. Now, when it comes to the art community and the VTubing scene specifically, AI causes a lot of hysteria. Yes, people who use AI and then try to claim that product as their original art should be called out for that. However, this has become a call-out tool where every single time an artist has a small mistake or something off about one of their drawings or artwork, they are accused of using AI, and then they have to fight for their life because this is a potential huge blow to their reputation as an artist, and also even the clients, the VTubers in this case, who are using their products might get called out as a result for supporting an artist that is accused of using AI for their artwork. Now, in this situation, we are going to be focusing on a call-out thread made by the artist Liz B. Now, they made this thread right here, and I think it's very important to understand that this opening paragraph right here is pretty important because it gives some of the motive behind why they might be potentially making this call-out post. So, they say this: 800 plus VTubers scammed by AI company. Were you one of them? As I started doing VTuber commissions, I checked other artists with the same price range as mine. I got curious because some of the clients got models from this company. I decided to check more about it. Why would they charge such price with a really good render quality while having many beginner mistakes? After a little digging, I understand why, and here it is. They're using AI, and it shows in several ways, and they give several examples of what they believe is proof that this artist in particular from this company is using AI to produce this artwork. Now, I am not an artist, but I will use the comments of other artists and how they feel about this supposed evidence in a little bit. But in that same thread, in the replies, this artist would continue on by saying that what they're doing, what they're...
Then point out the issues and say you want them corrected. Like, you're probably getting it at a premium if they're using assistance. Gonna miss Brandom. What is this? This tweet. Quote, women are now without electrical. Will NATO not allowed because there is not without electoral nods or political power. No kidding.
Wade, as you heard earlier tonight, the United States Supreme Court majority wrote the following. Quote, women are not without electoral or political power.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Quote, women are not without electrical. Quote, women are not without electrical.
Now without electrical. Yeah.
Or political power.
Clap. Please clap. No kidding.
No kidding.
What are you doing? It's so wild. And like, I tuned in for like 5 seconds of Rich streaming last night because apparently he's back on the internet, hasn't learned a goddamn thing. And he started talking about DSP and then he stopped mid-sentence and there was this like 15 seconds of silence. And then he's like, you're right. Trump can't pivot. And you're just like, whoa, what? Because he literally just stops dead in his tracks. He just starts reading chat. And he just acts like people can read what he's reading. Because I guess he's really stupid and narcissistic. He's like, yeah, Trump can't pivot. And it's like, what the fuck do you want him to say? Like Kamala has no record. So of course he's going to be talking about the record of Joe Biden because they were the part of the same administration. Anyways, not to get political. Rich is dumb. Rich is really, really dumb. What's a dish? There's video evidence of you calling a cup of of you eating a cup of instant noodles with a spoon while also complaining about it. And before you say herder, it was a joke, it wasn't. Yeah, there's so many examples we can point to where it's obvious DSP lacks basic intelligence. Thank you, Mr. Extravagant, for the resub. A 4-month streak. Much appreciated, Mr. Extravagant. I'm very thankful that people are still subbing on Twitch even after the price hike. I can't thank you guys enough. Much appreciated. I'll be getting the VR headset in like 1 or 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be very, very thankful for you guys. I'll do some VR streaming. We'll play a lot of cool stuff.
Competitor is doing should be illegal, and that they've made over 1,000 models, and so many people have been robbed of an opportunity as artists because people went to this supposed AI user instead of going to real artists. They would go even further. They would
VR
not only
chat
make this
meetups. I don't
public
know, man.
call-out thread that got over 2 million views,
check it
by the
out.
way. They would also reach out in private to people saying this. I spoke with 2 of my clients who purchased models
Entering a
from
whole
this
new
company,
world.
and neither of them was aware that AI was involved in the process. I suspect most, if not all, of their customers don't know about this.
Yeah.
So they're going into private and trying.
I think. Hold on. Cough. I think Rev did make a Black Myth Wukong video, but apparently, like, there is some weird guidelines being handed down where, like, you can't play Black Myth Wukong while also spreading feminist propaganda. And some people on Twitter were being like, I'm going to play Black Myth Wukong and I'm going to spread so much feminist propaganda. And it's like, okay, dude, go ahead.
Trying to track down their own clients who are also clients of this
China.
second
Typical
artist
China
here who's being
awkwardness.
called out in this thread. On top of that, they would give a direct link. They say a company, but they only list one artist in their thread, and it's this person named Forest7, who we will talk about in a little bit. But also, because of the hysteria surrounding this subject in the VTubing scene, a lot of people in the replies were able to track down this artist thanks to that previous post, and now they were encouraging people to report their Etsy shop, literally threatening this person's livelihood over the claims made in this thread. Now, a lot of people would get very nervous, especially clients of this artist. And I don't really blame these people, but the hysteria surrounding this is showing itself because some people are saying things like this. I guess I got scammed. Be right back. Gonna cry. Here's another client saying, I'm honestly heartbroken saving up so much money for my first ever 2D model to hear about this personally. I am not good at knowing these things, but first pick is what I received as my final sketch.
Why are we like losing our minds over these that are circled here? Obviously, this is low quality AI art. Look at this bullshit. Look at this. The shirt slightly overlaps the belt buckle, which is something that looks entirely natural and actually happens in real life. I can't believe this is the bad part AI art. I want my refund. What are you talking about? Looks fine.
Second pick is my actual model, which was taken in VTube Studio today. However, as this thread was out there for longer and longer, there was a lot more skepticism about its honesty. And artists started to give their opinions on this, including on individuals like this who were concerned that their model was made through AI. So here's a couple of artists in the replies of that tweet saying this. I think they just forgot to clip your shirt, which would be a human error. As an artist, none of this looks like AI, but rather human error. Also, it seems like she's taking screenshots of incomplete model like yours, rather than the finished ones, and claiming that the unfinished/sketchy quality is due to AI. Hi, I am professionally trained to spot AI, and this entire thread is just slander and grossly misleading. You're fine and your model is man-made. They just made a clipping error. Then you can see someone attaching the statement from Forest7 that we'll look at in a little bit. And here is another person who says this. I commissioned my current model from them, and I could not disagree more. Zooming in on my own model, I can see small line art imperfections that really could be made, or could only be made, by a human artist. This whole thread is just a bitter smear campaign attempt, in my opinion. And on top of that, when this was all happening, another user would come out and make...
Has anyone ever heard Kitty Commander? Is that like... I think that's like one of the Kino Casino contributors. Like, you guys have no taste for what entertainment is. It's funny, you're also brainwashed. You can't enjoy the Casino Saga. You all created a boogeyman, and no one can see him for the monster you painted him as. If anything, this is your all fault. I'm truly puzzled. Why do you hate DSP this much? And my response is, more people know why who know about him than know about him who don't know why. Like, that was my first initial response. No one can see the for monster as you painted him as. And it's like, like the overwhelming majority of people who know about DSP know why he gets mocked and ridiculed. Like this idea that nobody sees it the way that you do. It's like, well, most people do actually. And then I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, also, first I would need to know how much you think I hate him before I can tell you why I hate him as much as you think I do. If it's enough to laugh at his ridiculous antics, why don't you come back after asking your Kino Casino fans, pals, the same thing? Because, like, it's so bizarre. It's like going to Borderlands with someone, and, like, you're sitting through Borderlands, and by the end of it, you're like, man, that movie was shit. That movie was garbage. That was awful. And then the friend you're with is like, oh, no. I don't think it's the worst movie ever. I don't think it's as bad as you think it is. They're like, how do you even respond to that? You're just like, okay, I guess there's no accounting for taste. Like, what am I going to do? Convince you that the movie's bad? It's like you saw the same movie, right? It's like, so YouTube has a weird thing where it doesn't even notify you if people respond, I guess. I've been tuned in since SOK. Phil is so boring, it's gotten to the point even watching Phil edited by a detractor was boring. I honestly can't fathom how you all spend so much time and hate on Phil, the milk toast locale. It's like, well, you're already like disagreeing with his premise. He says he's not a locale, but I guess. Casino Saga is the first thing worth watching from the Phil aisle in a long time. Imagine then a whole group of sticks in the mud that can even enjoy the small moment before things go back to boring old Phil. The casino guys got a better interview out of Phil since side scrollers, and before that is a giant Nothingsville. Nothingsville, I guess. And I respond, I don't know what or who you're talking about. I'm enjoying it. Years of DSP pretending he's anti-drama just to totally abandon the act and reveal that he actually hasn't been trying to change at all. So, that's about it. I don't know why you guys can't enjoy this. And I'm like, I am enjoying this. It is funny. It's silly and goofy, and the only downside is, like, it makes the Kino Casino audience look like a bunch of retarded idiots, like a bunch of simps who don't know to not fucking touch the poo. Like, they're a bunch of poo touchers with poo all over their hands. Like, I thought the rules of laughing at lolcows was supposed to be that you didn't interact with the lolcows, but I guess they have a different way.
Take this accusation towards the original poster of the thread,
anyways,
saying that their model themselves was traced over the artwork of another artist who, for clarity's sake, the other artist has come out and said that they don't believe fully that this was traced, but they do see a lot of the similarities. And people are doing this side-by-side comparison. This is the artist making the call-out thread, and this is the art that they are alleged of tracing. And you can see, I mean, it does look very similar. This is not a foolproof method, by the way. This is something that can show a lot of similarities even in times between two models that doesn't exist. But based on the timing and the fact that the accusation of them tracing has more legitimate evidence than their call-out thread about the other artists accusing them of AI is very telling in this situation. So as you can see, the public perception of this thread shifted greatly from the beginning until the present. At first, a lot of...
We're talking about it a little bit in the Anley Discord. You guys remember Boondocks? You remember the, how do I say this on Twitch? The Frogga moment? Where two Froggas are passing each other in the street, they bump shoulders, and they're like, Frogga! And the other one's like, Frogga! And then they just shoot at each other. And, like, everyone remembers that scene, but fewer people remember the scene afterwards, where, like, a Frogga walks past, like, a white guy, and they bump shoulders, and the white guy is like, why I oughta... Wait a minute, I'm white! And then he just walks away. And the guy's like, well, what the fuck? That's how I feel during this. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not the one giving DSP money. And then I just laugh and walk away. Like, that's how I feel about the situation.
People were supporting this thread and they were going after the artist in question who was being called out. And now it looks like a lot of people are questioning the original call out and its evidence, because a lot of artists are looking at it and saying, hey, that is not sufficient evidence to suggest that this artist was using AI. In fact, it looks like this was just the product of simple human error. And you could see eventually this tweet would be hit with a community note trying to address some of the potential misinformation. However, also keep in mind, when this note was applied, this tweet already had 1.6 million views. Almost 2 million people saw these claims.
It's fine. We're here to
So
spurt.
obviously, a lot of the people who were exposed to this thread,
is the
they might not
Spurtcast.
ever get a
I added
follow-up. They might not
autism
ever
to the
hear the
stream
other
tags.
side of the argument from the person being accused or these artists who are questioning this thread in the first place. And now they have this perception that this artist in the call-out post is using AI, and they might not ever commission this person again. It's a big blow to the reputation, even if this note is applied and some of this stuff is dispelled. However, you can see the note, it says this: at Lisby Art is using the fear of AI to smear their competition and engagement bait. So I think this is a pretty good motivation for what they're trying to do. And I pointed out this...
Sorry, I'm interrupting this very important news story a lot. But yeah, I did see the camera glitching out. It was funny. What is going on? Is his streaming computer just dying? Or is he just... He's trying to up the encoding way too much and that's what's happening? I don't know. Or maybe it's the camera itself. The Chinesium camera is dying. I don't know. But it's funny. All this gloating about higher quality and everything, and then his camera just starts bugging out. It's like, whoops, I guess I gotta spend more money, buddy.
Original part of the thread earlier in the video and said this is important for some of their motivations. It seems like they were looking around at their competition in their price range and they saw this individual and they targeted them. And they tried to go out and make these claims that they're using AI to basically get rid of the competition. And it almost worked. That's the crazy thing. It almost worked. But anyways, let's hear that statement that was also cited in the note that comes from the artist who was being called out, called Forest7. So this is what they said in their response thread. They said, I absolutely cannot tolerate all of these false accusations. I will present all the original drafts and refute all of his slanders at Lisby Art. This character design is for personal use and will be made public later, so I'm sharing the high-resolution image with confidence. Can current AI generate such clear, high-definition images? This drawing was done in April of 2023 when AI technology wasn't as advanced as it is now. And a lot of people have looked at this, including artists, and they believe that this is pretty good proof to back up their claim. And additionally, they would say, please don't say that. First, we only sell custom models, not pre-made ones. All models must meet customer requirements, which is something AI can't do. Additionally, I've shown enough evidence on my Twitter to prove myself, including layers, sketches, and drawing traces. And then Liz would reply to their thread saying, okay, people aren't blind. I showed proof on my post. If anyone want to believe you, fine. It's not about what I think. It's about what it is. Where the Forest7 person would reply saying, it's all speculation and assumptions. I can show sketches and drawing layers, which AI can't do at this point. And that is enough to prove my point. Furthermore, I promise that in the future, whenever clients need it, I will record the drawing process. Where Liz replies saying, please now on record, so this will never happen again. I showed proof, but I won't be discussing this in a loop forever with you. People saw it, people noticed, that is it. Yes, people noticed, but they never heard the other side of the story until now. That's the issue. And your evidence that you're saying, the proof, has been debunked. It seems like it's been debunked by this artist, but you're still relying on that same proof to continue this conversation. And Forest7 will go further and share some more video evidence of their layers, trying to show things that AI couldn't do, wouldn't even be possible in the first place. However, other people would start weighing in, saying, so Liz is just a jealous person that can't handle that people are willing to deliver quality for less. And Forrest says, yes, and she emphasized that it was because someone abandoned her draft that they chose mine. And obviously this is a screenshot of the beginning of the thread where she is, of course, saying that she was looking at the competition as she made this call-out thread. And Liz replies saying, no, because I started recently accepting commissions. And then here's some more claims by Forrest. So they're basically fighting for their lives in the replies here. Like I said, being accused of using AI as an artist is a very serious thing. And you can see people instantly started regretting their commissions or were saying that they don't want to work.
What the fuck are we talking about here? Are we just in this weird period of history where there was a point where all art was done with like a paper and pencil, but then computers came out and we started using like Photoshop and stuff to make art. And I bet a lot of people back then were like, oh my God, you're using a computer to make your art? That's anti-art. And now we're in this stage with like AI tools are coming out and like, oh my God, you're using AI to make your art. That's bad. And it's like, is this a tool like any other tool used throughout history? I guess at a certain point we're going to look back at this and just like make fun of it. Right now it's really ridiculous.
Work with this person in the future.
Is this a tool like any other tool?
And now they're trying to give their side of the story, share the evidence that
if there are problems with the art, then you as the person who's paying for the commission can be like, hey, go back and fix this part. You don't go, oh my God, this is ruined forever. You be a good client.
Clears them of these accusations. So they're in the replies of some people from the thread who are believing this. And they basically said, Forrest said, hey, these are rumors. Go check out my account. I have proof that I am not using AI. And Liz would go into the replies of those replies and constantly say things like this. I have proof. I brought solid proof. You can't argue against real facts. It's not rumors. I brought solid proof. Just basically covering their ears and refusing to hear any sort of side from Forrest 7 in the situation. And this is definitely a part of what a lot of people believe is a smear campaign. And it's also sad because the artist who was being called out and accused of this, their thread hasn't even gotten a small percentage of the attention and views that the original call-out post got. And that's sad because people won't hear his side of the story and they're just going to live on with these assumptions about them that are totally unfair. And also while we're here, she is actually the one who brought this whole situation to my attention. And they're also a really good artist. You should follow them as well. And also they're the artist that is responsible for a lot of my advanced GG related art.
Oh, nice.
You should check that out as well. But anyways, let's return to another artist weighing in on the situation. So here's a popular artist named Moe Naomi, and they quote Liz saying this: I look through the arts and it's very obvious it's not AI. Doing a call-out post like this and destroying a company's reputation without contacting them and making a bunch of people believe their model is made by AI is so unhinged. And Liz replied to that saying, and please be careful defending an AI artist. I showed proof. Not what I think. I literally circled out the obvious AI mistakes, not human ones. Humans have a line of thoughts. If I will draw shadows, for example, I will check hair and not add many hair strand shadows that don't exist. Where then the other artist would reply saying, I'm going to be honest, even the quote-unquote proof you provided isn't really even proper proof. AI doesn't just leave things unrendered.
Where you're sitting there just being like, oh, I better make this absolutely perfect or people are going to accuse me of using AI. It's like you're really not helping artists out by being so just like Stalinistic. Oh my God, you used a tool, an art tool? Get him out of here. Get banned.
Like that. All of these mistakes could happen just from live 2D clipping mistakes and rushed art, where Liz replies saying, they couldn't.
Yeah,
they
that is a good point.
Human mistake.
Like, these are layers that move around and shift and warp. If you're just taking a screenshot of something at a certain angle, you could basically claim anything you want.
Where the artist replies saying, I deal with a lot of AI art, and come on now, that's not even an AI art style. Who would...
Like, what are the shadows supposed to move alongside the top layers? Like, holy shit.
Bother generating a piece and then draw over using their own art style. What you're doing right now is genuinely malicious. Where Liz replies saying, I'm sorry, but it's so obvious the reason you generate and all you have to do is draw over the top. Which part don't you understand? And which own style? They have more than hundreds of different styles. You really haven't checked anything and chose one side to defend. Where then the artist replies saying, you slandered artist art, calling it AI and unclean. If it's not AI, like you said, you realize how rude that sounds. Liz replies saying, it's AI, but he draws on top of it. That is why some mistakes, not all models...
Okay, we're done with this story. Let's just talk about Black Myth Wukong. This one.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be once again talking about Black Myth Wukong. This game has been a breath of fresh air for many, offering not only some solid and promising gameplay, but also it is developed by a team that has been very vocal and against politics and other virtue signaling being included in their games. And as a result of that stance,
really
they have become the
interesting.
enemy of Western games journalists who have been
I knew that when this game was announced, and I knew it was being developed in China. I was like, there's going to be some issues. I don't know what those issues are going to be, but China games, they're going to have some issues. And this is the issue we're running into already.
trying to slander
Well, I guess the game is out yet, technically. A lot of people are playing it.
The team and also give negative reviews of this game as it's prepared to launch in a few days.
I like how all the reviewers are like, not enough diversity. It's like, dude, it stars a monkey.
They have claimed that this game is not inclusive enough. Now, why do games journalists in the West hate Black Myth Wukong so much? Well, the story begins with who else but Sweet Baby Inc. Because of course it involves them. So it was reported by the Wukong...
Is that really their banner? Just wearing like a fucking Kunti Kinte hat?
Sweet Baby Inc. Because of course it involves them. So it was reported by the Wukong devs a few months ago that Sweet Baby Inc. approached them with a $7 million in what they call extortion attempt, basically saying, pay us $7 million for our consultation, or you're going to get canceled in the West and you're going to lose out on sales as a result of that. Where the devs, Game Science, who is behind Wukong, rejected Sweet Baby. And conveniently, in the very short time period after that, a series of hit pieces primarily from IGN would release, accusing the developers of Game Science of sexism in a sexist work environment. Now, we've gone into in depth about those claims before, but basically, in a nutshell, most of the claims are supported by zero evidence, and the ones that are supported by supposed evidence are a few screenshots of social media posts by some of the devs where the translations are very poorly done. In fact, they are so poorly done, many people believe they were intentionally mistranslated to hurt the reputation of the game science development team. Now, in an ironic twist, this attempt by these games journalists to cancel Black Myth Wukong and its developers has backfired. Gamers have seen what these journalists are doing, and they are rallying behind this game and its developers, who they now believe are being persecuted by these woke journalists. And people are very excited about the release of this game. And like I said earlier, the reviews are coming out, and there is a lot of hype surrounding Black Myth Wukong. Right now, it is the most wishlisted upcoming Steam game. And on top of that, it is actually reached into the top 10 of the most active players because they released a simple benchmark tool. So in the wake of all these reviews coming out, it has been reported that Game Science made certain terms that they want people to use when they're reviewing this early access. So they say, by using the game key and creating content, you acknowledge that you've been informed on the following content and your statements are not related to the marketing team. And they say in the do's and don'ts, the primary don't that everyone is talking about is this right here. Do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization,
Violence?
and other
No
other
violence
content
in our
that
action
instigates negative discourse.
That's weird.
Which I think is a very fair thing to ask of people who have the benefit of early access for the purpose of reviewing. But this is a funny
Don't use trigger words such as quarantine or isolation or COVID-19. Oh boy. Or Tiananmen Square. Don't talk about that either.
Dichotomy here where games
It's like, way to mention it while telling other people not to mention it.
journalists
I
are
wonder why you don't want us to mention it. Maybe because it came from China?
reporting this section
Maybe.
as a negative
Possibly.
thing, but
Could be.
gamers are looking at this as a positive thing because they don't want these things in the game or in the reviews. However, the reviews overall have been very strong. In China, the reviews are
In China,
predictably
they
very
say
strong. And
8
even
out
in
of
the
10.
US and also Western reviews in general, the reviews are pretty solid. Even IGN, who's released...
Sorry, I just noticed it. Did you notice it? 8 out of 10. GameSpot, 4 out of 5. Games Radar, Hardcore Gamer, 4.5 out of 5. IGN, 8 out of 10. PC Gamer, 87 out of 100. PC Games In, 8 out of 10. IGN China, 10 out of 10, baby. Huh. That's funny.
All these hit pieces on the development team still begrudgingly gave it an 8 out of 10. However, looking at all of the review scores, there's one big outlier here, and that is Screen Rant. A lot of people are talking about their review, where you can see they gave Black Myth Wukong a 3 out of 5.
Number 1 best game ever.
Now, people are paying attention to this not just because of the
China
poor
game
review,
number 1,
but for the reason they gave this poor review. Mainly this part right here in their cons, saying lacking in inclusivity and diversity.
Okay.
Which is an insane claim, by the way, because this is a game starring essentially what is a monkey ninja. And on top of that, it is trying to be truthful and faithful to Chinese mythology that this game is based on. They're basically asking this game to go against its own culture and create a different narrative to be more inclusive for God knows who.
More black people,
right? And also the thing that is very frustrating is that this reviewer allowed this to bump down the rating. That is an insane thing to factor in with your game review. How much inclusivity there is in the game. But let's read some of their analysis here. So this is what they wrote. While my analysis and review of Black Myth Wukong remained focused on the gameplay, it's important to mention the controversies surrounding the game studio and the reports of misogyny and sexism from developers. Playing as a female gamer allowed me to notice issues surrounding inclusion and representation.
And they say that, and you can't even take their word for it. It could actually not be a literal female gamer. They could just be claiming it.
She's got that power of being a female gamer, apparently. So, of course, they start this article off by talking about the accusations. Like I said, heavily debunked and very criticized, but every single time there is an article or review about this game, these games journalists include it. It is a...
As far as chapters 1 and 2, which are the only ones that I've played so far, where characters are clearly fictitious and fantastical creatures, there were no female or feminine NPCs, enemies, or bosses present. In other words, it didn't allow me to kill women, and that's a no-no. Games should have enemies that are female, so I can destroy them and obliterate them entirely. Not enough women to kill. 3 out of 5.
A very, very strange thing to see, and really just baffling why they hate this development team so much. But they go on to say that there's a lack of female and feminine NPCs in their review, and on top of that they say this: the lack of diversity and inclusivity resonates with the misogynistic comments reported to have been made by the developers, which express disdain for women playing their games. Although Black Myth Wukong does have truly enjoyable moments, the underlying feeling that women aren't welcome in this world felt present throughout my gameplay experience. It's worth noting that the game is based on the novel Journey to the West.
There weren't female enemies that I could kill, and that made me feel like women were not welcome.
Which does consist of a few important female characters. To not include any women, or to include, or only include a few in an adaptation meant for a modern audience is quite disconcerting. So they're going here with that modern audience. Anytime you hear that modern audience phrase, you're about to hear something really stupid, and that's what we got right here. Now, of course, people have been dunking on this Screen Rant review because it seems just illogically attached to this concept of inclusivity, and that basically that is the make or break of this game. And gamers are laughing at that. They have no interest in that. That's not important to them for this game. They just want to play this.
Have you seen some of the footage coming out about Assassin's Creed Shadows? Like just how goofy the combat looks. How like they're trying to phase out the leap of faith and just trying to mock it and make fun of it. Like, you can't land into a basket of hay and it not hurt. I got a show of him falling on a pile of hay and then him going, that hurt. It's like, okay. It gives off that vibe of just like a Hollywood director doing a video game adaptation, and they really don't know what to write, and they don't really understand or respect the source material. So all they do is just like make fun of it. Like, it reminds me sort of like the Spider-Man movies where some of the lines were like, "So, do you like shoot webs out of your butt like a real spider does?" And Peter Parker has to be like, "No." And it's like, holy shit, dude. You think nobody's ever made this joke anymore? Or until now? Do we still have to be falling back on this?
Based on Chinese mythology. And another thing very important to note here is that after this review was getting heavily criticized, a note was added at the end of the article saying this: editor's note, the author's name has been removed for their safety, which is a very cowardly thing to do. If you're going to put your name on an article that's also sharing slanderous allegations against this development team, your name should be displayed. It seems very cowardly to remove it. Now, of course, it's very easy to find who it was. A lot of people had this screenshot to begin with, and this was the author, Samar Abedian. So you can find their Twitter, and there's really almost nothing on their Twitter account except one very interesting piece of information.
The writer
they say
of the
that they're
article.
a PR intern
That's
at
public.
Splendid Comms. Now, what is that? Well, if you look into their company, they are a consultation firm, much like Sweet Baby, but for more general products. And you can see their motto here: being people first. We believe that team diversity enriches our collaborative culture and our work for clients. We are keen to meet candidates from all backgrounds, so please get in touch if your skills, experience, and attitude match ours. And you can see the companies they've worked with. It's very interesting to see a consultation firm like this focusing on diversity somehow getting hired by Doritos, as if that has anything to do with diversity.
Of course, that's where my
attempt to
eyes
sell
go.
Doritos.
All our eyes
But anyways,
go.
after that, I noticed that recently they added another note below that saying the studio behind Black Myth Wukong Game Science has previously been accused of fostering a
Oh my
toxic
God, it could
environment
be accused
for
of
its
literally
workers. The
anything. It could be
2023
accused of eating
allegations
babies
include
and
sexualized
throwing dogs
comments
off
against
buildings,
women,
accusations.
misogyny, fat phobia, and more. More
Can be
detail
whatever you want them
can
to
be found
be.
here. So it seems like they're trying to do some damage control and push the blame away from themselves. It's not their allegations, it's someone else's allegations. And what do they link? Well, an article from The Gamer, which ironically shows one of the female characters from Wukong, which the other reviewer said doesn't exist. But in this article, they cite the report from IGN. So it all comes back to this report from IGN that has been debunked, but all of these games journalists are using as evidence that there is some kind of sexism going on with the development team at Game Science.
Wait, what did this say? This comes courtesy of a report from IGN exploring the misogyny attached to Black Myth Wukong and the Chinese gaming industry at large. In the report, multiple instances of Game Science employees making highly sexualized and sexist comments are shared. IGN also verifies reports of job recruitment posters for Game Science bragging about friends with benefits, perks in the workplace, and another poster allegedly reading, "Fatty should fuck off." I'm pretty sure they didn't say that, but if they did, that's pretty based too. What would that what would even be the point of that? We're hiring, fatties can fuck off. What? Like, if you're developing for video games, you're probably not in the best shape, so why would you limit your client pool by being like, better be in good shape if you're going to program a video game? It just sounds like bullshit allegations. It's either not true or I don't care. Either way.
There is some kind of sexism going on with the development team at Game Science. Now, Mark Kern would also discover something pretty interesting. Kotaku would make a quote-unquote review of Wukong. However, there's something very interesting about this review in particular. So there's only two parts of the review. And the first one, of course, predictably, is slandering them. They're sharing the IGN report and saying that there's all these allegations against the studio and the development team and yada, yada, yada. However, the rest of the article is doing reviews of other games journalists' reviews of Wukong. So they're just basically aggregating all these reviews that exist from other platforms and making their review of that review. And it's very telling because this seems like Kotaku was never given access to Wukong. They got no early access to this game to do their own review, which number one is hilarious and very deserved. I'm not surprised based on the stances that their development team takes, that they would not want to work with Kotaku, especially giving them the privilege of early access. But on top of that, I think it kind of feeds into the narrative that they have some sort of a grudge against game science, and that they included that section slandering them as a way of basically getting back at them for not giving them early access, which is really embarrassing that they didn't get it, because even IGN got early access, and IGN is responsible for the hit pieces on them. So if they gave IGN early access but not Kotaku, that tells you how little respect game developers have for Kotaku. But overall, that's going to do it for this video.
Thank you.
Definitely a very interesting situation with Black Myth Wukong, which releases in a few days. And a lot of people are really excited about it. And like I said earlier, I think it's a breath of fresh air for a lot of gamers, not only with its gameplay, but also with the attitude of the development team, reflecting what gamers actually want and not that of games journalists who want to ruin the industry. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's...
Thank you, Rev. Give that a thumbs up. We'll take a look at that video, Mr. Extravagant. But first, today is a Tuesday, which usually means I make new VTuber costumes. So I got these ones prepared. I got a couple ones. I got Zhu Wan from Zenless Zone Zero, a very popular character at the moment for various reasons. That could be it. If it'll let me, this is, I think this is a fan-made model. This is Rebecca Chambers if she was captured by Wesker and basically went through the same thing that Jill did. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm a big Rebecca fan. Nefer-Pitu from Hunter x Hunter. This is just some random costume that I thought looked cool. Someone had wanted, well, I want this too. It's a pajama jury. It looks weird when you put the feet together, as it just looks like a dress. But as you know, in the game, Jury rarely has like a stance in this position, so it's a lot easier to forget that the legs are very like wide and puffy. But we can do that one, I guess. Batgirl, X-Men Evolution Rogue, which is a lot of people's favorite rogue. And Moira Burton, a leftover from last time, and Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts. But the poll only allows for 5 choices, so I'm gonna have to narrow it down a bit. Next costume, of course, Zhu Wan, ZZZ, Nefer-Pitu, Pajama Jury, X-Men Evolution Rogue, and let's see, what'll be number 5? I don't even know what you would call this. The file name is Kaname. I don't know what you would call it, like blue coat and shorts. I don't know. How about just Wesker Rebecca? Come on. Alright, that'll be up for 10 minutes. Vote in the poll, vote early, vote often. What we got here? Video to react to.
On Friday, I shared a sneak peek of my new film, Am I Racist? Tickets are on sale right now at miracist.com. In the scene, which you can find on my YouTube channel, you see the moment when I was kicked out of a support group for white people struggling with their white grief. What is white grief? Well, as someone who attended the workshop for more than an hour, I still don't know exactly. As best I could tell, it's the kind of grief that white people feel because of their privilege. We have white privilege, according to the doctrines of DEI anyway. And our recognition of our privilege might cause us grief. That's the basic idea. And the film's all about my journey into anti-racism, a deeply personal journey, one where I must face myself and my whiteness and ask the titular question. So it made sense to begin a journey like that at a group like this.
Why should I be white?
As I shared on Friday, the session began quite well, in my opinion. I opened up, I shared my feelings. You'll see all that in the film. Eventually, I become quite emotional. I have to leave the room to go weep in the pre-designated cry rooms. White people are not allowed to cry openly, thereby burdening people of color with their white tears. That's one of the rules. And I obeyed the rules. went to the cry room to cry. But when I came back, the group had figured out who I was, and at that point, I was kicked out. That's the part of the that you see in the clip that I shared on Friday. I'm not going to play the full clip again here, but just for context, for the rest of this, here's the part, at least where I was identified by the people in the room. Here's.
I know that like my physical safety and yours and everybody else's here is okay.
Why would your physical safety not be okay? Did I miss something?
I don't feel comfortable.
What? Can you guys catch me up to speed on what's going on here?
You don't need to be caught up. We're going to be silent.
Is it because I said I had 17 black friends? It might have been 15. It depends on how you count them.
I would really appreciate it if you left so that the people who actually want to be here and deserve to be here can get what they need.
I do want to be
Can
here.
you please leave?
I would like it if you left. I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey. Come with me. Well,
thank you.
I didn't consent to be touched.
I'm not offering to touch you. I'm offering to walk you out. Will you walk with me and I'll answer your questions?
Okay, I'll admit it. My name's not Steven. Maybe you already knew that. My name is Matt Walsh.
We know.
Okay, so then they kicked me out. You could also see in the clip a few moments later that the police were called. And I wasn't there when the police showed up. I had already absconded and fled the state, a fugitive on the run. But since I wasn't there, I have...
Are people that crazy? Yes. This is your average PR or HR department that you find in every major corporation nowadays. We don't feel comfortable with you being here. I thought we were all about like tolerance and diversity. Yeah, well, we didn't really mean that. We don't like your opinion, so get out. But yeah, I totally believe this is true. You have opinions that we don't like, so you can just fuck off and leave. We only want people thinking a certain way here because we're all about tolerance and diversity. But, you know, not that kind of diversity. We only want diversity that is all the same. Okay, what is this? Oh no.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
Wow, how'd you pull that one off? Ugh, I guess it'd be like, if you already know what he said, you can like reverse engineer it and figure out what he said. In 2017, we began working on the Obama campaign.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
Why am I so retarded?
Boo-hoo. Poor guy being made fun of for mumbling. But of course, if that happened at the RNC, Democrats would be making fun of it. But you're not allowed to when it's on their side.
Cheeseheads.
What is this? Stream siped and loses it again? Not again.
Cheesehead 94. I wish I just let me play the game. I have a whole squad following me around, shooting me, throwing smokes on me. Oh, and dude, it's a band, all red faces. Tanks just sitting here. Where's our tanks at? Where are they at? Oh, really, man? What is our team's problem? Tank, dude. No, it's not my first time playing Battlefield. Stream's ending soon if donations don't come on, because I'm not going to sit here and deal with this without making money. This is harassment. That's what this is.
Aww. Harassed, man.
Say my name.
Breaking Banquet.
You're goddamn right.
Don't cancel. I'll get you. Ooh, I'm. Oh! Sniper on the barn. Yeah, I can't grab you right now because, like, literally. Shit. Dude, the tanks, man. What?
Another tank.
Oh, car 98.
Yeah, I don't know why Muda would agree. One could hope he asked him a couple important questions, like pressing him on DSP's lie that people broke into his bank account and stole money from him, which is an absolute lie, and it's a very slanderous accusation for sympathy. But if he doesn't, then I guess he only cares about people lying about cancer, doesn't care about people lying about having money stolen from them. So I don't know. I don't know. He might be afraid. He might be scared of the pig roach, which would be very pathetic. But I don't know. I'll be here. I'll watch it tonight, and I'll have plenty of drinks.
The guy near me.
Got my vodka. Got my Mountain Dew.
Oh my lord.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah, they run the board on us because it's because our team is sucking ass. Maybe sick to single player games. I'm all we've been, and we've been under pressure the entire time.
I'm the fresh at Battlefield. Oh, save us, DJ.
I was trying to think of a serious chicken, but what happened is somebody most likely had a plate that they were given by one of their family. They stopped to get gas, and they opened up the tin foil on it and like looked at it and they put it down. Did I eat that plate? No, it flies and like dirt. I just thought it was funny there was a plate of fried chicken right there at the gas pump. Like I stopped to get gas and there's a whole plate. There was a wing, a breast, like some chicken bog, like a whole plate of fried chicken. I was like, dang. No, it looked like somebody just took the aluminum foil off of it and just left it there.
Limited foil. So yeah, it was on Twitter, and I guess it's got like 47,000 views or some dumb shit. It's like one of his most viral tweets yet, but he's just at a gas station wearing a stupid straw hat, and he's like, "Someone left a whole plate of fried chicken here." Actually, the video starts off with a police siren playing, because I guess Jordy is such a fucking retarded idiot that he doesn't understand if you start a video and there's like a bunch of noise playing in the background. You start the video over. But no, he just started the video, and like the first 10 to 15 seconds, you just hear a siren going off, and he's just like, yeah, the siren going off. And you just sit there and you're waiting, and you're like, what the fuck is the point of this video? And then the siren goes away. He's like, okay, so there's a plate of fried chicken on top of this gas station, yo. Someone was eating some fried chicken here, and they just left it here. And it's like, okay, I guess this is what Twitter content is now. Wow. And he made a good, I guess, 15, 20 bucks off of the views of that tweet where he just found chicken.
There's two guys there, one left, one.
Man, the lolcal Keemstar arc is really working wonders for old Jordy.
Right, of my body.
Isn't tomorrow they're going, like, Wings and Boogie are going to a Trump rally because they're Kamala Harris supporters, because of course they are. Like, is this supposed to defy expectations or something? Two fat, idiotic, lying, probable pedophiles are Kamala Harris supporters, and they're going to go to a Trump rally, and apparently the narrative that they think is going to happen is they're going to get beaten up for not supporting Trump, when of course every other time this has been tried by every single news outlet, they're just welcomed with open arms. But I guess Jordy, the perpetually paranoid laughingstock bitch boy, who won the poll? X-Men Revolution Rogue. Okay. He's afraid he's going to get beaten up, because he's afraid he's going to get beaten up literally everywhere. He's afraid he was going to get beaten up on the plane ride to that convention that Boogie went to.
We got a guy on the shed back here on the yellow ping. There are going to be guys coming from C to D here. Over here on this yellow ping on this house, that's where there are going to be a lot of people there.
Oh, that's 2042 to have though.
No, Bouncing Betty's wearing. Oh, hello. Where'd I get sniped? Oh, it's a fucking tank. God, man. Like, one thing I've always complained about in this game.
People should not be engaging with the Kino Clip channel. It's run by Flaked, who is their editor, who's given Phil like over $100 at this point. Like, he's super dented.
Is that
people are, like, think it's run by Andy and Ashton, but it's not. It's run by their editor. He's just engagement farming. He's just trying to make money on the side. And everyone who falls for the bait is playing into his hands, so just ignore him. Andy, come get your boy. He's acting retarded on Twitter.
that the tanks need a respawn timer. It sucks that just one engineer is not enough to really do damage to most of the tanks. We got a guy right in front of me, next to us, so don't. Oh, silver slaughter. Oh crap! Remember to jump while you're running, so they can't headshot you. Snipers have to hit headshots. Let's move around the back here. People have very bad map awareness, so like if as long as you move and just change your angle up, you'll get access to them really quickly. That guy that's shooting at us, I'm literally putting the flank on him right now. There's a tank.
What they should do, they should make it like if they want to be like semi-realistic, they should make it so if you like hit them in the leg, that they have to crouch for a couple seconds. I don't know.
Out in the field here.
I don't make the video games.
I don't know if it's got a person in it or not, though. We should actually go back and get C. I see him. I see him. I see him.
Does less damage, but
damn it! I just have no heals left.
A mobility hit. That's all I meant.
Like when you don't play medic, you don't get infinite heals. You only get one heal. Go left or right. Kind of throw people off.
There you go.
Dude, really? Impact grenade on my X. The problem is we don't get any good tankers. Don't want to build them all. Just build up what you need.
It's so goofy how he tries to like coordinate shit. There's a man on my
there's two
X.
tanks just sitting here. Where's our tanks at? Where are they at?
You're not on a
I
team.
think every death I've
idiot.
taken
Like,
has been
what
a tank. Like,
it's one of the most dumbest thing he does. Like, you're not on a team. You're just playing with random people, and you're like trying to order people around. Like, they don't know you. You don't know them. You have no obligation to each other. And you're just sitting here. You're trying to boss people around and order them around. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who do you think you are? Like, you're not a shot caller. You're not a coordinator. You're not some commander. You're just some fucking random dickhead who pops into a lobby, and you're like trying to tell people how to do shit. It's like, if you can't handle the way other people play, then just like, I don't know, play a different game. Play better yourself. Get so good that you can carry the entire team by yourself. Otherwise, it's like, stop trying to boss people around. It's so annoying.
Like look on the map. Where are the blue tanks? They're all on F. All right, let's just go take D. Oh no! Come on, dude.
Where's my fucking team at?
Damn blue. I think I'm getting close to D.
Yeah, dude. Like, take a look at every death I've taken so far. Like the vast majority of them has been a tank or a sniper rifle. Go to the wall. Go to the wall to your left. There's a wall to your left. Chi. Go to your wall. Press. Get into the trench. You got to use the trenches and the walls to get around. There's also a tank over here. Come right. Oh, get over here in these trenches. Dude.
Great aim.
Hey, does Army Vet play this?
You're out of range with that gun.
Guys pushing us. Guys pushing us. Oh!
Army's PTSD is from cleaning squad toilets.
At this point, we're just trying to not bleed. No, it's not my first.
It's so funny to see him still doing like the handshake. Like, the guy has terrible blood circulation, but he dies and he like shakes his hand around. Ooh, I gotta shake my hand.
No, it's not my first time playing Battlefield, man. Like, I'm normally the medic.
Okay, well, you want to be a medic?
Nah, it's all good.
Why not? Maybe you should be a support player instead of trying to.
Like, look at this, dude. This is our home flag. No tanks. Get a guy to your right. Another tank to our left here. Try to get into the flag here. Still outside of it. And really, man? Like, what is our team's problem?
I'm bled out.
Damn it, dude. The dudes are just riding around in the tank. And I'm not getting any real gunfights. No point. Dude, another death from a tank. Like, dudes just park tanks on this map and just shoot infantry. That's all they...
The guy driving this tank can't be...
At least I got killed by a guy with a gun. I'm in B. I'm fighting this tank. Come on, dude. I'd honestly be rage quit if I wasn't playing with a squad right now. Like, every death I've taken has been a vehicle. Like, every single death. What do you want me to do? I can't even get close to the tanks. They're not even engaging with the flags. They're sitting off the flags.
Enemy, there's a tank over there, that's pink.
Yep.
Oh. Damn it! Hell. I killed the guy that downed you. There's another guy on our right about what that tank was.
More infantry-based stuff. I wish there was more infantry-based stuff. This is a tank. This is a tank map. There's like 6 tank spawns, but the problem is our team has just wasted every tank we've had. Well, I'm just saying, if you took every vehicle death, I have 2 infantry deaths and like 9 vehicle deaths. Guy right to the left here. Death. I have 2 infantry deaths and like 9 vehicles.
DSP is very good at tanks. Thanks, Respergoo. Like, he doesn't even play a game with tanks in it, but... I don't know, man. Why do people do this? I'm gonna be in a locals chat, and I'm gonna intentionally act like a total retard for as long as I can. And it's like, at some point, you're not really acting like you're mentally ill. You just are at that point.
Vehicle death.
You might as well just be.
Yes. Guy right to the left here. Come on, dude. Fucking tank, dude. It's like there's nothing I can, like, nobody is running anti-tank either. It's ridiculous. Medic has no anti-tank ability whatsoever. Don't worry, we're about to lose. In our spawn, there's a guy sitting in the mountain with a tank.
Oh boy.
Why don't I get in a tank? Because our team keeps taking the tanks. If you notice, there's never a tank spawn. We got 0 of 6 tanks spawn.
What are you pointing at?
We got 3 of our tanks.
Why are all these people so stupid in such very specific ways? You're pointing at the screen as if people can see what you're pointing at.
Sitting around D.
Is it just narcissism? You think everyone is experiencing life through the same lens that you are? Like, what the fuck?
Right? And like, we just don't, they're just not doing anything.
Look at it. I'll point to it just in case you
They're
can't
not being
see.
effective whatsoever. Tanks are worse than snipers. People that camp in tanks are the bane of Battlefield. No, my team wasn't winning. We were getting dominated because people and our teammates weren't using their vehicles properly. It's low key part of no. Using armor is low key part of Battlefield. Camping spawns and tanks. No, there's some
so slow.
There's some people that will literally camp their spawn with a tank. Like, I remember back in Battlefield 1, the heavy tank would sit in their spawn, and as soon as you started shooting at them, they would drive out of bounds back into their spawn and repair. I want to actually get into some infantry fights. This is a lot more balanced map. There's less tank spawns. Dude, I've been struggling the last 2 or 3 days on donos.
Good God, Wings. Cheeseheads behind you.
Oh yeah, Cheesehead 94.
Hope you're doing well. This is a recommended video.
I can't. There's a guy laying on the
I haven't watched a Wings video in so long. It's just nothing's changed.
Ground with the LMG there. Okay.
Wait, is that actual Cheesehead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aw, he's sniping, bro.
I mean, it's easy to snipe in the game. There's probably only like 3 servers with people in it. I gave up on the prime weight loss already. I'm back on the soda.
Cool.
DJ, I just died laughing when I saw it.
How hard is it just to not drink full calorie soda? It doesn't taste that good. Like, come on. Nah, I gave up on the weight loss.
Cheesehead trying to run the Wings over with a fucking tank.
Like, you basically have an unlimited lifetime supply of prime energy from your daddy Keemstar, and you're like, nah, I don't wanna. Soda tastes too good, man. I'll be 400 pounds for the rest of my life, man.
No way, that's
Damn, that's serious.
What up, Cheesehead?
Yeah, he literally tried to run him over with a tank.
I'm chasing a tank right now. Dude. Good lord. It's also why I don't tell people when I'm going to stream, because it lets people do this. Hey, now I'm getting chased with smoke grenades.
These are attacking.
Dude. Grenades.
This dude's going wild. Also, why do you guys tolerate the trans person on local? Actually insufferable individual. Who are they talking about? I don't even know who they're talking about. What the fuck? What?
These are attacking.
Dude.
There's a trans person on Locale Live. I did not notice. Okay. They're talking about Grace Thorpe. I don't know.
Tank coming. Tank. 9 o'clock. I'm trying to get around to the tank.
I'll be a corpse.
Dude, it's so lame. They just sit in the middle of the field, and your weapons. You need like 6 engineers to take a tank out, and usually it's 1 or 2 at a time.
Well, I was gonna mention, since you said last round you wanted more like infantry combat, breakthrough's better for that because there's like less vehicles in there.
I play Conquest. I don't play any other game mode. We need one of you guys to actually be an engineer instead of medic. Oh, hey, dude. The tank's got 10 health. Hit it with something. Okay.
I got. Would a frag grenade work?
No, it's hard to, when people are following me around, it's hard to decipher where I'm getting shot at because people are constantly shooting at me. Sniper. Ugh.
There are enemy forces at Charlie.
Yeah,
Dude, come on. No, there's a guy on me. Got on me. Don't get me. Don't get me.
Whoever's squad captain, once we get 20,000 points, you can call in a team.
I'm not gonna be calling any. I'll give the squad to somebody else. Like if I'm left alone, I'm a 3.5 KD infantry player on Conquest.
How do I switch to LMG does?
Come on, dude! You on my body?
My game is not.
Yeah, did you hear that Bossman Jack got banned off of Twitch? I don't even know why. They banned him from Twitch. Now just when shit was getting good after his 100k dono getting slimmer, he just loses it all every single stream. Like, they were watching it in the Discord. Bossman Jack, like, got $20,000 off of one roll, and it was gone within an hour. It's like, jeez.
My game is not.
Come on, really? I run into the one with a shotgun on my corpse?
Okay.
The one dude with a shotgun, that's who I run into.
Like my lord. The guy from that clip. I don't want peace. I want problems. Always.
You need engineer, not support, man. Like we're not living long enough to need ammo.
Ain't that the one I went on?
No, you went on support. Engineers, the assault.
I mean, Bossman Jack is basically just like killing time until he gets convicted and goes to jail on drug possession, breaking parole.
Assault is what it's called. Well, I'm just letting you know.
So he's just sitting there, just smoking crack, snorting coke every 5 minutes, just burning money, just living life to the fullest, and then he gets banned off of Twitch, and then he's all suicidal again.
Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was his call.
Well, it's called support engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for assault there's a tank buster.
Holy shit, that aim. Just like tracing bullets around the guy.
Yeah, I think for
first of all, he's doing exactly what DSP does, and he just sprints everywhere to the point where just
I think for
he rolls up on an enemy, and because he was sprinting, it takes him a lot longer to aim down sights. And by then, he's just screwed. Like, just painting a fucking silhouette around the guy. It's like...
Assault is the tank buster kid. I'm
I have frag grenade rifle and sticky dynamite. 18 minus my options.
Alright, well, I
literally getting pushed in by a tank. I wish I just let me play the fucking game for real, dude. Like, dude, I'm literally dude, I have a whole squad following me around, shooting me, throwing smokes on me.
Thank you. I thought they stopped that. Like,
yeah, cheese hit and that Seymour guy was following us around.
Should I go back to Fortnite? That might be more risky, man.
I need health.
Bro, what is with the moaning while you play?
It's hard to tell when I'm getting shot at or not because I'm constantly getting shot at.
Killed 2, I got bomb rush by the 3rd.
I need health. I need health. What we got? What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we gonna go?
Yeah, let's try to get A, but I was gonna say we could get D or E as well. Here, I got you.
There's a guy behind us.
Now these guys are having fun.
I'm telling you.
I'm considering suing them because this is affecting my livelihood.
All right, guys, the stream's ending soon if donations don't come on because I'm not going to sit here and deal with this without making money.
How much have you made?
I'm begging.
Nothing.
Just give me some money. These people are making fun of me. You guys are going to have to give me money. They're harassing me to the point that you guys got to step up, okay?
Where's the tank at?
I'm learning from my daddy,
the right side of the church.
Phil Burnell. People make fun of me. It's your problem.
Get it like
legit. That's the business model nowadays, I guess. People are making fun of me. That means other people have got to step up and give me money. It's like, do you think that's gonna make people stop making fun of you? If making fun of you drains your fan base of their money, what's the incentive to stop? Oh no, I better stop making fun of him. I don't want his fans to lose out on that money. I want them to keep their money. I better stop making fun of them. But, I mean, the money gets funneled into Wendy's and DoorDash, so I guess he doesn't care.
if you throw like a
Deathcore Lover,
like a sticky thing on top of it that does a lot of damage.
These noises it's making.
You see the little chevron in the middle of your screen? I'm down. Got on me. Got directly on me. No, I'm done with COD. I play Rainbow, but like I said, like Call of Duty only gets played when support comes in for it. Why no Rainbow? Because you guys never donate for Rainbow. Like it gets less viewers and less donations than Call of Duty. Tank on me. Tank on me. Tank on me.
I think it's stuck. I think I disabled it.
Yeah.
It's smoking.
I'm not going to use the squad leader thing. How can I switch squad leader?
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was saying
no, like how do I manage squad? Can I'm up here? Here, you're a squad leader now.
It was Evolution Rogue, right?
God damn it!
Here, I'm coming around.
There's the guy right there, laying down in the building,
It's like an angry pug.
Why are you grabbing me? Shoot the guy first.
I can't see anything.
He's laying down in the building next to the steps in the rubble.
Jeez, and I'm throwing smoke everywhere. I can't see a damn thing.
Welcome to what I've been playing at the entire time. I wish I could report his PlayStation account. Like, this is harassment. That's what this is.
Harassment.
I've never done anything to this dude. I just didn't want to play with him no more, and now he's harassing me.
Oh no.
Ain't he from like Alabama or something?
West Virginia.
Harassed. You guys are gonna have to give me money because he's harassing me. You know what would make me feel better? Some Wendy's DoorDash. Okay, Wingo.
Ban Haken, please.
You being made fun of is money being taken out of my pocket. Winning.
Remember, all troll sayings have to be done on $10 bills, including Haken. That's why he's banned. Ban Elron, dude.
Or you can just like fuck off.
It's even harder when you got people traveling behind you.
If you want to make fun of me, you're gonna have to give me money. And that's how it works, or else I'm gonna ban you.
I can't stop moving or even using cover because as soon as I stop moving, I get smoked. It's not even fair.
Nice.
Fucking flamethrower.
I got a hammer.
Ground shaking. trying to figure out where my floor is.
Damn it, man.
It's okay, guys. I'll snap him with this hammer.
Can I get...
I'll heal you once again.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, I can't imagine saying I'm being bullied by people on the internet. I'm being bullied, you guys. I'm being harassed.
I'm about to start removing moderators if you guys don't moderate the chat.
Step underneath the bridge.
All right, ban all red faces. Ban any. Just
Ban all red
Start
faces.
banning.
Charlie has been secured.
Ban everyone who just laughed, please. Is he just, you're just starting the healing animation and then canceling out, and that's what it looks like. Just like the guy just sort of just stabbing him over and over again. I gotcha, buddy. No, wait. Okay, I gotcha, buddy. No, wait, hold on.
Shot him in the head 3 times. I'm close. Man.
I got you.
If I don't see a ban wave in the next 20 seconds, I'm removing a moderator.
It's so corny.
He's on the floor right next where you pick me up while I'm down.
I'm getting rid of a random moderator. You guys don't do all my work for me.
Yeah.
Ban
all
don't have to do an
emotes.
ounce of what I'm dealing with
Ban
right
anyone
now.
having fun.
2017.
And it's a tiger. We got a tiger pushing the bridge.
Pussy. He has not changed whatsoever.
I'm going to D.
Reinforcements
Don't
arriving.
say troll shit.
Used every explosive I had and took it down to 75 health and is still going.
Wait, was it the
Completely
tiger?
serious about my livelihood.
Yeah, that explains it. Best thing to deal with that is
I put a pants of false right for fucking ass.
like this massive rocket that is
You have control and objective easy.
Alright,
Only one opinion matters. I'm a Kamala Harris supporter.
I try to do something with it. There's a whole squad where I'm down at.
Literally got 2 medics following me and they're not giving me any help.
Do what?
Bring the squad now. One of those medics are cheesehead, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it, cheese lead.
Can I invite you in here?
Like me go through all the cinematics. Ridiculous.
I just think a game invite.
Complete squad player. Alright.
I'm about to quit.
I'm banning a moderator.
Enemy will win this battle if you don't step it up.
2 of them.
guy behind you.
He's on fire. I got you. Never mind.
Hostiles are attempting to take objective Baker.
Go ahead and ban eye smells.
It's obvious, like, this
Yeah,
is
we're
not a
just like
game
a
that you
bogey
enjoy
place.
playing. There are so many video games out there you could be
I think you
enjoying.
could do that
You
in
probably like
dedicated
Killing Floor
servers if
more
you
than
have
this.
your own server.
At least in Killing Floor you have a chance of carrying the team by yourself. This is just like a death montage. Just not good at this.
I think I'm loading in now.
I don't know why our family got happy.
It's just like so much of his ego is wrapped up in this one genre of video games. Can't look at anything else. Yeah, I put a lot of hours in Killing Floor 1, more than Killing Floor 2. I was a medic in Killing Floor 1, just a medic with a crossbow, and that was like the best build I could possibly get. Because I would just get headshots with the crossbow, and I could take down like Skrakes in 2 or 3 shots.
I can't see a damn thing.
Yeah, that was my whole match, dog. Like, I couldn't see the whole match for like the last 45 minutes. Every time I went down, I had somebody pretending to revive me. Smoke.
I had some crazy plays. I wish I had recorded some of those, but there were some where just like my entire team had wiped, and it's just me, the last person on the team, and it's just me versus like 100 100 like, you know, monsters or infected or whatever. And I'm just like running around the entire map, just like killing one or two at a time, running. Like it was probably boring to look at, but I think like there are a few people in my team who are like, you can do it. And then I just take down everyone and bring the whole team back. It's a lot of fun.
Grenades, flamethrowers.
But it's completely possible.
No, go and ban Mark Ruhr, ban J.Mac.
We just one man the entire game.
I'm dead serious, mods. Every time I look over, I want people banned.
Oh my god, dude. This guy's such a dickhead. He's so up his own ass. He's like he pretends he's some kind of like soccer coach. Starts clapping. Come on, mods. Anyone making fun of me, get him out of here. I only want people who suck my butt. Anyone who isn't pretending to like me, get out of here. Get him out of here. It's like, you have such a fragile ego. And this is after being babied by Keemstar. You'd think he would have some sort of confidence returned, but nah, he's just as much as a pussy-ass bitch as he always been. Come on, mods. Anyone says anything I don't like, get them out here.
Well, DJ, welcome to the war zone.
Everyone has to pretend to like me, or you're not allowed in my chat.
Oh, that'd be fun. Matt Babel should be banned already. Blast Mess, you got 30 seconds before you're banned.
Yeah, they're following you again, by the way.
It's going to happen the entire session.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep the air.
Ban all emotes. Emotes aren't positive.
Trying to get back.
All right, you guys are gonna have to give me money because these people are standing in front of me.
I'm gonna try to spawn on it. Are you dead?
If I don't start getting some money, you guys are gonna have to watch something more enjoyable. What did he say?
The series set a timer for 10 minutes.
Can you not like figure out what 10 minutes from now looks like? You guys have been putting on notice. If I don't get money in 10 minutes, I'm out of here. You guys are gonna have to watch some other more entertaining stream. Oh no! Don't threaten me with a good time.
Are we going to?
Barry has like a support with them just preparing them, because you can do that.
How did I not kill him?
Scratch my butt. That'll make me feel better.
Viewers don't mean shit.
Yes, they do.
Oh, the little...
Viewers don't mean shit. They ain't giving me money, so I don't care about
not getting body blocked and smoke grenaded, dude. I'm a 3.5 KD infantry player.
If you ain't giving me money, you don't matter.
Oh my lord.
There's a sniper in the building right where. Oh, you dead? It's the building right where you went into.
All right, Kaiser, time to get out the plane, dude.
I've been keeping the air clear. I shot that.
I don't care what you're doing with the plane, dude. Like I'd much rather you on the ground.
All right. Well, once I die, I'll spawn in as a medic. Jordy, behind you is a guy.
There's a guys everywhere.
Yeah, there's two of them pushing your right flank. Yeah, I'm
keeps getting me killed.
Oh. They're chasing us, so you can probably do some damage to it.
I'm gonna switch classes.
Did he just decide to stop talking and that's all we get now?
Material rifle, that's what.
Oh, that got, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna respawn on you. I think we should go to C.
Man.
Damn it.
Is he still on medication? He's probably still mentally lobotomized, just emotionally dead, just pilled out. If I have my pills, I'll get mad. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Plus, I
I'll
get
punch
to
a
see,
wall.
at the recapture, so I look for this sniper.
I'll say, look here, look, listen. You guys don't want that. I gotta take my Lexapro. I gotta be an emotionally lobotomized baby. That's their key to being successful. If I don't pay my land tax. Oh, there it goes. Just ends the stream right there. Stream's over. Not even an outro. Not even a thank you for stopping by. Just like, oh, I'm not getting kills. It just cuts the stream. That's it. Alright, I look forward to watching another Wings video in a month where he acts the exact same way. That's wild. Hayabusa Feather. Which one is this? Oh, this is the one I just watched, huh? It just fucks off. What a pussy. This is how your children act, Keemstar. Come on. You need to discipline your children better. They should not be acting like this in public. You need to have that alpha energy, right? Send Wings more prime energy drinks so he can get his enthusiasm up. What a shit show. Stupid cornball. Duty's streaming more often because I thought he was being destroyed and felted by the king. But no, he's putting out more content just to spite you. You're 42 years old, Phil. You should probably figure it out by now. But I guess he never will. He just wants to cry about being bullied because that's what gets you the big bucks. Pretend to be a victim. Who cares about dignity? It's personal reputation. It's people make fun of you and you cry about it like they're actually fucking with you in real life. As long as the fans of the two drama queens buy into it and give you money, it's all good. I think Kiwi Tapes put out a recent video. Is this all
Corbin
footage
Pinnell.
we've already seen? This dude. Okay. The one to pull is the Rogue, right?
Also known as Jupiter the Hybrid, is probably the most reprehensible person I have covered on this channel. With a laundry list of predatory behavior, Corbin has been terrorizing the internet for years now. If you want to know the full story on Corbin, I highly recommend that you watch my first video on him, TikTok.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, he's just getting shout-outs. It's getting more publicity. More people are just, like, on duty side than ever before because DSP's, like, just keeps talking about him over and over again.
Worst predator,
Good job, Phil.
Jupiter the Hybrid. But a quick rundown would be that Corbin is a man in his mid-20s who believes that he is a werewolf-vampire hybrid and has been caught numerous times speaking to minors in an explicit manner. The only thing that rivals Corbin's creepiness would be his weirdness, crafting a mythical universe which he fully believes, full of demons, devils, and monsters. And as criticism against Jupiter increased, so did his descent into this fantasy world, using it more and more often as an excuse for his behavior, or as a threat against people speaking out on him. It all started a couple months back with the creation of a new YouTube channel and TikTok account for Jupiter. These accounts started as a way to apologize for the years of terrible behavior that Corbin had committed, but as I just spoke about, would descend into nothing but threats. You see, Corbin has been going around saying, yes, I did all of those horrible things in my past, I admit it, but I am now changed, and he fully expects everybody to just drop it. So when he sees comments in his YouTube and TikTok calling him a predator, it infuriates him, causing him to post either in YouTube Shorts or on his TikTok channel. The format for his TikToks usually consist of him typing out a paragraph, threatening all of his haters, while a picture of him uses a filter to slowly turn into some kind of demon or monster. And this would be how things would go for quite some time. Jupiter saying he's sorry, threatening the trolls, and...
This is actually a post of his, isn't it? The true demon werepire lord form. Y'all don't want this smoke. Ladies love me and children fear me. Why do children fear you? Is because you might fucking molest them.
Repeating the process.
Why would you say that? Children fear
all
me.
over again. That is until he started going live on his YouTube channel. This was extremely unusual for Corbin, as he usually just posts his short format videos, and we would quickly find the answer to why he was doing this. During his first live stream from his new YouTube channel, he would begin to discuss the future, and how he would have to do some terrible things to make amends for what he had done. He would also discuss someone called Jess, claiming that they were his new girlfriend, sending chills down the spine of anyone who knows Corbin's past.
Shout out to HH, my girl Jess's brother, and Jess herself.
So gullible.
Love you, baby. Always will. You see, many of you see me as a pedophile.
You sure? Because you said you are.
I guess all of you see me that way now.
Yeah.
And that is the truth.
Oops. Okay.
I am one.
Oops. Okay.
So here it is.
Well, how dare they say
to all
that
of
then,
you.
right?
I apologize for being
Sorry.
the bad pedophile I was. and
Sorry.
am.
Gotta
This
forgive me now because I said the sorry
recording
word.
will be going up on YouTube, so please like, follow, and subscribe.
Please subscribe to the pedophile.
You know,
No, I don't.
leave a comment, all that good stuff.
All that good. Why would you?
Anyway,
Okay, God.
and
This
to
guy.
all my
This guy's out of his mind.
followers who are still pals and want me to continue, I have one thing to say to you. I am not one of you. I never will be one of you. I am a good person.
No, you're not.
I have
You're
nothing
a pedo.
bad. I don't have any bad bones in my body.
Except for the pedo bone.
So, yes, I am and or was a pedophile. I never will be again, and I promise you that.
My God.
In fact,
what?
I apologize for ever thinking I could get away with it. You know, I apologize.
I said sorry.
Also,
God. This guy's so
HH.
fucking crazy, man.
Jessica, my
I'm
girl.
not a bad person. I'm just a pedophile.
Jessica's brother. Please, please do not be mad at me for not doing the breakdance right. I couldn't get it right because my room's too cramped.
So I think the ending of that video tells you quite a bit as to who this new girlfriend really is. An obvious troll who was trying to get Corbin to breakdance for her. I believe the live stream that you just saw was also the result of a request made by his new girlfriend, Jess. The way he blatantly states it, like it's just some kind of oopsie, is absolutely insane. And you can see the real disconnect that Corbin feels for the crimes that he has committed. It's almost like when he tells himself that he's a different person, that he actually believes that he is a completely different person to who did this, and merely catching the rap for something that he had no hand in. I really think that's how he feels about all this, because while he'll sit there and say all day long that he's a predator, God forbid someone in the comments say it too. Jupiter would go live the very next day, I believe also by the request of Jess. This live would be a little different, not being an admission of guilt, but merely him reading chat, which never fails to get under Jupiter's skin.
So, if you don't want me hunting, if you don't want it to be open season on your ass,
what?
Then you best leave. Because I will hunt each of you down and claim your head.
Yikes.
One after the other. Mounted on my wall as a trophy. Hey, you can piss off. And Paladin, there is going to be someone other than me who's going to have to end your career and your life.
Wow.
I don't care.
Don't be talking like that. Go to your room if you're gonna be talking like that. That's inappropriate.
Sure. Sure, I'm a monster.
Did you hear that?
And she's my staff who and your life.
I'm going to end your life. You're just telling people this on the internet, and then someone in the room is like,
Corbin.
I don't care.
Don't be
Corbin. He's like, I don't care, okay?
talking like that. Go to your room if you're gonna be talking like that. That's inappropriate.
Sure. Sure, I'm a monster. And she's my staff, you asshole.
I can already tell that.
Oh my God. Why is his voice high? I guess it's a common thing with predators or people who have suffered childhood trauma.
That the staff is absolutely fed up with Corbin. This has to be a regular occurrence, him making hyper-violent statements. I mean, I'm not sure if I could even show some of them on YouTube. There's so
like, even then, they're just like, oh, okay, if you're gonna talk like that, you need to go to your room. It's like, well, you should, like, not let him talk like that wherever he is.
so explicit and thought out. And it's crazy to see because on the surface, you get this vibe that Corbin is relatively peaceful. He's soft-spoken, even being respectful at times. But then you find out all of the abhorrent things that he has done. And you see a couple of his TikTok demon videos. And you realize that just below the surface is an incredibly dangerous person. One who has no issues using others to his own ends. But it seemed like for once the shoe was on the other foot, because Corbin's new girlfriend was talking him into some pretty crazy things. While I'm sure there will be stuff behind the scenes that we will never hear about, the most prominent of the things that she had Corbin do would be the pony burning. The Great Pony Burning of 2024 has to be one of the most pivotal events in Jupiter the Hybrid history. For context, Jupiter has a small collection of stuffed ponies from the popular franchise My Little Pony. One particular pony is named Sheratora, and in the past, Jupiter has described her as his wife, stating that him and Sheratora were in a happy, loving relationship ever since he brought her to life with blood magic. When I asked Corbin during my interview with him how Sheratora came to be created, he stated through a combination of DNA and black magic. So I don't think blood magic is the appropriate term. I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but I want to tell you that Corbin really valued this pony. There were times that he would speak to it as if it was a real person, even describing all the little ponies he had as him and Sheratora's children. That is what makes the Great Pony Burning of 2024 such a disturbing act. Jupiter's new girlfriend, Jess, would demand that he burned all of his ponies as a gesture of good faith and symbol of his love towards her. And I cannot stress to you how little Jupiter wanted to do this. And when the live stream started, he seemed very hesitant to light the fire, claiming that if the McDonald's bag he had put them in didn't take, he would just throw them away.
As I said, around 4 o'clock today, I will be burning some things, but it is a little windy right now. So I hope this works. This is for my girl Jess. These objects are going to be burned by this. Come on, you piece of... Alright, there it goes. Anyway, that's the best I could do. But yeah, this pony got some damage, but I don't believe it's going to go any further than that. So, Jess, I'm sorry, but I couldn't get it to burn all the way. I'm sorry.
Two things before we continue this live stream. One, this is all happening in the backyard of his group home. I believe what Corbin told his caretakers was that he was going to throw some things away, only to slink off to the backyard and attempt to burn his collection of ponies. I want to make it very clear that this was just the minor beginning of the fire. Eventually it's going to get much bigger. The second thing would be Corbin merely wanting to throw out all of the ponies instead of burning them. This McDonald's bag burn attempt was very half-assed. Fellow YouTuber Smokey MCC even speculated that he was going to pick the ponies out of the trash later. And after rewatching that clip, I have to say, I agree. He was trying to pull a fast one on Jess, but she was too quick. Witnessing the minimal damage that had been done to the ponies, she would swiftly contact Corbin, telling him that this level of damage was nowhere near a statement of love, and that if they were to remain together, he would have to completely incinerate them. After a little bit of hesitation, Corbin would begin a second attempt, this time to far greater success.
I don't want to do it, but I have to. Forgive me, my camera's turned around. But I'll get it right back in place after I'm finished with what I'm doing, so I don't have to look at their faces. Sacrifices I have to make.
That's so funny.
I'm doing what must be done.
I don't want to have to look at them. Their sad faces as I set them on fire.
This is all part of my old life, part of the old me. That's willing to put everything aside, burning it all to ash.
And he's It's not gonna change.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Or so the saying goes.
Yeah, with flesh and, you know, people, not with, like, inanimate objects.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Move that away from the house, though.
It's a very bad idea
this.
when you're that close to dry grass.
Let's move this away from the house. I'm gonna stand over here. Okay, whatever blows towards the house, I'll put out. Or at least I'll leave it to its own devices. But yeah, this is a sacrifice I'm willing to make on my own path. Sorry, I'm just looking for a way to get these things out into the yard. But yeah, you'll see. All of it's burning to ash now. But I'll make sure to put it out once it's out. But yeah, there goes everything I loved. There goes everything I loved. Look at this. But I'm making sure no fire gets to the house, of course, because you never know what'll happen. So whenever... I'll let the wind put out the ashes, of course. But yeah, you see? This is what I was willing to do for everyone.
Cool.
To show that I'm willing to move on. Whatever the fire doesn't burn, though, I'll toss. Whatever this doesn't burn, I will toss it. Whatever doesn't burn, whatever stays on the side that doesn't burn, I will toss away into the garbage. But yeah, had to bring it somewhere where there was wind and also
crazy.
A lick of scent.
The
Just waiting for the wind to put it out.
This guy's electronic devices. I don't know.
But whatever doesn't burn from the garbage,
they're ever gonna.
Whatever doesn't burn, I'll throw away. All right, Corbin. Watch all of it burn, everybody, because... Oh, shit. Forgot about that. So whatever doesn't burn, I'll throw away, everybody.
Dude, people have to think this is so...
I'm not doing anything.
Weird.
This is for you, Jess.
If that grass sets on fire, he's so fucked.
But yeah, this goes to Jess.
It's so dangerous. If only the wind was blowing in a different direction.
I'm showing you all what is necessary. But don't worry, I'll put out the fire before it spreads. Don't you worry none. Alright. Yeah. Yeah.
Throughout the bonfire, you can hear Corbin muttering to himself that he really doesn't want to do this, but has to, making me believe that Jess laid down an ultimatum. It's either me or the ponies. So Corbin would go through with his heinous actions, burning Sheratora, saying that she was a part of his old life, making me believe that he was trying to see this as a symbolic moment for himself, that with the burning of Sheratora, so would be burned away the sins of his past, causing the public to finally forgive him. He would also talk about his fear of lighting the house on fire, as well as his fear of the police showing up, which is not helped by the fact that there are unrelated sirens in the background. It just goes to show that Corbin knew he was not supposed to light this fire, that it could actually get him in a bit of trouble, but he was still willing to take that chance for his girl, Jess. I'm also shocked at just how flammable these ponies are, burning for a good little while and putting out a substantial flame. Jupiter may have just solved the energy crisis. Pony-based steam energy is the future. I'm also sitting here asking myself, how did the caretakers allow this to happen? I would say that preventing things like this would be a big part of the job. Corbin has started a 2-foot fire only 6 feet away from the house. But to Corbin, it's not a fire, it's a sacrifice. You even heard him say, "There goes everything I ever loved." Then why burn it? I get that your new girlfriend is asking to, but if you love these items and believe that they are alive, You're technically committing murder, and in the most brutal way possible. It makes me think, would he do this to real people if the situation was right?
Probably.
Humor me, and let's say that
Seems
in
like a
some alternate dimension, Jupiter's a businessman
psycho.
with a mistress. This is some burn the house down with the family inside kinda shit. Some collect insurance and take off to Mexico kinda shit. It only makes me question what he is truly capable of under the right circumstance. But I'm digressing super hard right now. Back to the bonfire. Jupiter would attempt to put out the raging flames with his shoe, almost melting it in the process. You guys see just how big the fire has gotten at this point. There are pony eyeballs made of plastic popping. The flames are shooting up over 2 feet. This is by no means a small fire, and could very well have burnt down not only his group home, but the surrounding houses. Some poor neighbor of Corbin's, who was probably just messing around in his backyard, witnessed this, and upon realizing that it was a member of the group home who started this fire, he would approach Corbin, asking him just what he was up to.
So yeah, everyone. Showing you what I'm willing to sacrifice.
What are you doing?
Just getting rid of some items I never needed.
Not doing anything.
Throw it away, man. You're gonna make the fire to come and get that down here. What's wrong with you?
I was trying to push out the whole entire time. I told
It
everyone.
look like you're trying to set it off.
I was letting. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this though.
Look at all the smoke you got going on.
Yeah. Don't worry, if they show up, we'll just say we have it all under control. Just stomping out
Okay,
the
and then they'll
cinders.
leave. Well, I thought you had not under control.
No better.
I know. Someone asked me to do this, so
This guy, like,
I wasn't trying to.
he legit
I'll apologize to the neighbor later.
gives off just like
Look, everyone.
psycho
I was willing
vibes.
to make a sacrifice, and I did.
Like he's way more violent and malicious than he lets on, and he does a really bad job of hiding it. Like, he might actually be a psycho. I don't say that about a lot of people. Usually, like, it's just like schizotypal or sociopathic. This guy, like, actually might want to kill people. He is
I made a sacrifice.
So in the beginning, you hear a neighbor scolding Corbin for starting such a large fire in his backyard. And at the end, you see a group home staff member scolding.
And again, like, the authorities have his phone and his laptop. And I guess they're just taking a whole lot of time and finding things that are convictable on it. I don't know.
Corbin for knowing better. It may have taken 5 minutes, but thank God 2 people came across this and did something. Corbin was claiming that he was going to let the wind deal with the ashes, and that sounds like one of the worst things that you can do for a fire like this. Corbin even said before all of this started that it was a windy day. He is so lucky that nothing else caught. I guarantee that he was scolded by group home staff, but he still faced no consequences for this pony burning. After a large amount of people had witnessed Jupiter's pony burning antics, they would begin to question just who this Jess character was. Were they actually Corbin's girlfriend? Were they a troll? Maybe a little bit of both? We wouldn't know. But when we finally did find out something about Jess, it would be extremely disturbing. Jess had been dating Corbin under the guise of a 15-year-old girl. While I highly doubt that this troll is actually 15, I believe that Corbin was under the impression the whole time that they were. When he made that apology stream, blatantly stating that he was a predator, he thought that he was actively dating a 15-year-old. And Jupiter has been doing all of these actions under the guise that she is that age. Yet again, another example of why he is the most reprehensible human I have ever covered on this channel. And it seems like most people feel the same way, because shortly after the pony burning livestream, Jupiter's TikTok account would be hacked. I think hacking is probably a grandiose word for it. Jupiter probably just gave a troll his passwords, but the channel would post multiple videos calling Jupiter a predator, even changing the description of his TikTok page to state so. Another notable thing would happen would be the Duke shoutouts. For those who don't know, Corbin has a brother Duke who has also committed some horrible actions, much like Jupiter has. The wider community of people who watch Jupiter will often call him out and his brother for their terrible behaviors, causing Jupiter to defend his brother Duke tooth and nail, making long posts about how he loved his brother and missed him, using his mug shot as the background, and responding to anyone in his TikTok comments posing as Duke. If you said even one negative thing about his brother, who was on the registry, Jupiter would pop off at you. And this was the status quo. Duke posts, threats,
an entire family
post-pony
of
burning was quite
promos.
eventful, and then
So crazy.
silence. For 2 weeks we didn't hear anything out of Corbin. I thought maybe his group home had taken his
Guy never had
devices
a
away,
chance.
or maybe the police had finally caught up to him. But sadly, that would not be the case. Corbin would return to posting to YouTube and TikTok, with the same pattern of him apologizing, defending his family, and threatening the trolls. This would continue until just recently when TikTok banned Jupiter. Rumor has it that he has already started a new TikTok, but I have not seen any evidence of it. And his YouTube channel has been silent for weeks now. I highly doubt that this is the last we hear of Corbin. The police seized 3 of his devices almost a year back now,
Yeah,
and I really
way
think
long
that the
ago.
walls are closing in. Not only
can
for
hope.
him, but also those who defended and facilitated his behavior. Corbin Pinnell has been and continues to be a reprehensible person who has committed evil for his own gratification, desperately seeking forgiveness from an audience who will never forgive him, nor should they.
Yeah, that guy's a legit problem, but as you heard, cops are already mobilized. Not much else they can do about him other than just wait. Hey, the Borderlands video, as of 41 seconds ago, is live. 11 minutes. No views after 49 seconds? Bro, this is falling off. What added the extra minute is, do we have a sponsor segment? No? Why did he letterbox his own video?
Kidding. So I went to go watch Borderlands and even filmed myself alone in the screening because I felt like a millionaire. I was shopping on Temu.
People are stoked for this.
What did he add? Keep looking. It's not added. What is this?
Reason why black women easily beat
Oh,
up old
he took
people
out that
in
whole
old folks'
part.
homes. They can't defend themselves because their bones are made of paper mache.
Kevin Hart.
He took out that whole part of the, well, didn't take it out, but like covered it up with this. I guess the black lady on elderly person violence. He was afraid that was going to get it all demonetized.
Character is about
in it because Roland.
Okay.
How
look at
he
this. I
doesn't
thought he was
know
gonna add
what the
something
hell
here.
his character is about.
In it because Roland is a guy who has a narrative attached to an agenda of good, right? And his agenda of
I didn't know
good
enough
comes from
about that to
once
really
upon a
like
time
challenge it.
being a part of something that wasn't so good. That he
Just
felt-
sounds like
How does
he's.
it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking
Feels
about.
great.
There won't be a sequel to this film, so you don't have to worry about watching Kevin Hart and he's about to call her Kathy Bates.
Okay, edit that part. None of this matters.
None of this matters.
Jamie Lee Curtis is another miscasting of
Tennis part. What about this part?
San Francisco. What a treat. The actors have absolutely no chemistry together, and it felt like I was watching a low-budget streaming service where everybody was there to just make a little bit of money and then walk off. This movie was the longest hour and 40 minutes of my life. If you told me I was watching it for 3 hours, I would have believed you because it just seemed so painstakingly long. But it really wasn't. Borderlands is a nonsensical waste of film with pacing issues that can be best described as attention deficit disorder meets the popular Midwestern known as speed.
Water! I can only imagine how much footage they left on the cutting room floor, because nothing made sense. It was just so discombobulated.
Needless to say that the writing was predictable. It had very Birds of Prey energy, while attempting to mimic the Guardians of the Galaxy, but not having 1/10 of the charm, witticism, or chemistry of that cast working together.
You know, it's so rare that you have that experience like a Guardians of the Galaxy or Empire Strikes Back or a RoboCop. You go, wow, that was so good.
Every attractive female character is played.
Okay, I guess that was nothing, not much else added. And I mentioned, oh boy. 420 views, really enjoyed it, looking forward to more. That's a bot. Fucking bot comments. How many subs is he at now? 805, nice round number. 805K. Really building up there. Dante streaming Fire Emblem. That's cool. I wonder what the next video is going to be about. Hardest Clothes. Yeah, it really does seem like casting you would have in a comedy movie. But I guess it is a comedy movie, I guess. I don't know. It's an Eli Roth movie from the top on down. I guess is the best way to put it. His form of comedy is very, I don't even know how to describe it, because it's not even really comedy. I mean, as you've seen in the clip, it's like, we're driving through the piss fields, roll up the window. Oh no, you didn't roll up the window, all the piss got into the car, and it got into the 12-year-old's mouth, and she's like, oh, it got in my mouth. That's the level of humor that you get from Eli Roth. Omegon, the Return of Tipster. What's this all about? I did want to check this one out. Come on.
Please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you.
That is funny. Like, I was talking with Alfred about this, and I was telling him, like, yeah, this movie has been in production for like 7 years. And he's like, yeah, well, if it's been in production for 7 years, it better be good. And like Duke Nukem Forever, like, I think you would have been less negative about Duke Nukem Forever if it didn't take so long to make. And I'm like, actually, you know what? Randy Pitchford owns the Duke Nukem IP and Borderlands. So it's very fitting, a very fitting comparison. And Randy Pitchford is on Twitter just like coping, and everyone's just dunking on him in the replies. And I think I heard he had like a meltdown eventually. I don't know. Could have. Wasn't that just lovely?
Well, isn't this just fantastic?
Fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Over the weekend I noticed something rather interesting taking place on a channel for somebody I'm quite happy punching down at, because they deserve it. And I don't think there'll ever be a point where they don't deserve it. You know who you are, everyone does in fact. You hurt my friend, therefore you are my punchback. Congratulations.
Friend.
What I'm going to do though, is go back to the 30th of July, because I think this ties in somehow. On Discord, Keffels have posted, at everyone, at here, the Discord is not going to be closed, but I locked my account and won't be streaming from this point onward. I want to prioritize my own happiness, and that means moving on with my life. Thank you for everything from the bottom of my heart. We helped so many people, and all I ask is that once I am gone, you do the same for others. What a heartfelt and loving message that encourages so much positivity, built on a foundation of embezzlement and fraud, which, let's face it here, is an accurate summation for one whose career only existed because of a ratio meme on right-wingers and ended because you were incapable of playing a long-term game in favor of short-term gratification, validation, and shitbaggery. I will dunk on Keffels for a while. Abuse. Of course, I should point out this is not the person who hurt my friend, but because of the connections, the close ties, I have to include Keffels first. Included in that Discord message, which has a lot of emojis responding to it in this farewell tour that's been going on for a while, is 3 tweets. It's been a good run. I laughed with all of you. I cried with all of you. We've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity. Is that code for the GoFundMe that you blew up your nose? Thank you all for the memories and for giving me a platform to help others, even though it's built on a lie because you raised loads of money because you claimed you were being harassed when in reality you were using it to get away from someone. Right. and for giving me a platform to help others. It's time for me to move on with my life until we meet again. Well, based on how you've handled people wanting to meet you in the past, I doubt that's going to be the case here, or welcoming at all. Live streaming destroyed my mental health. Oh, we're doing the worse than a real job thing, aren't we? As I do both, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, anyone that thinks streaming is a harder job than working a real job is somebody that lives within an ivory tower. I live with PTSD from it, constantly afraid of swatting attempts, constant panic attacks, and dealing with people even in leftist spaces like Xanderhol, who fantasized about violently beating me to unalive. I can't do this anymore. Xanderhol is a unique case, and we've covered them here. I will not be defending Xanderhol. The irrational actions of your mind to induce such things like anxiety attacks is rather unfortunately in your case a consequence of your irrational mind still trying to justify the fact you lie. Dealing with people even from leftist spaces though. So you've mentioned Xanderhol explicitly. If there are others, I am sure they are all holding you accountable because you are a liar, fraud and cheat. I can't do this anymore. I doubt you could anyway. You are earning bugger all, and I'm pretty sure your case in Canada is going nowhere. I have friends, loved ones, a social life, and I'm thriving with my life offline. Don't feel bad for me. Well, that's fortunate, really, isn't it? Leaving everything behind was a really difficult decision, not when you've got nothing left, but one I ultimately made because I love myself and want to experience a life that is worth living. Now, I agree with this sentiment of wanting to live a life and have one that is worth living. I love my life, even though I do spend most of my time making videos. I spend a lot of time streaming, I do cleaning work, I do building projects, I paint Warhammer, play guitar, read books, play video games. I don't need that social life you need because you are very much a social creature. But you're a social creature that needs validation. That's your problem. I mentioned short-term gratification, and that's because you did the GoFundMe to raise all that money so you could escape based on a lie, which we've covered here before, instead of doing what you could have done, and that is simply live stream on a regular, on Twitch, giving your political takes and keeping your audience coming back. But you had to keep lying, and you were lying from the offset. So you leaving, we're happy about. I'll probably do a Where Are They Now at the end of the year on you, but unless you do something in the interim, I don't see a reason to do many more videos on you, to be honest. There are 2 more Discord messages I want to read before we move over to the next person who is the however to that final part there. I want to say by leaving the internet, I mean retiring as a streamer, as a content creator, as an online personality. I will be online, just not in the capacity I was. I don't want thousands of eyes on me. My name is Clara Sorrenti, and I am just some stupid girl who lives in Ireland, who likes to make pasta and spend time with my friends and loved ones. How very Irish of you. I don't care who you are, name-wise. I really don't. You'll always in the online space be Keffels. And the reason why I don't care who you are, away from this, your real name and all that, is because it doesn't change the identity of the person and the fraud that you are. Now, somebody called Beardmath has said, goodbye, Clara, have a good one. Clara, Keffels, Keffy Poop, thank you for calling me by my actual name. Keffels was a persona, a brand, not a person. I am Clara Sorrenti. Think like I am Iron Man, but the suit of armor is made of pasta that hasn't been put in the pot yet. Yeah. I could believe that Keffels was a persona if it wasn't for the fact that you have done vlogs in the past, and those vlogs are tragic. Now, where this ties into the person I'm happy to use as a punch bag comes into it, we then skip over, so we have to ignore the fact that he's a fraud. We skip over to this accidental re-upload on Tipster's channel. Keffels checks into rehab for a drug addiction. Now, this was tweeted out by Chris the Nazi Narc. I took the liberty of going to look on YouTube by typing it into the search bar, and it is in fact there. The video is still in fact at time of recording
I was
public,
thinking of
and there are no more recent comments on it within the past 8 months anyway. That's interesting to me. So then we now go to the Tipster channel,
who is it?
and we find that his more recent uploads had all been video gameplay, but that's not the case anymore. The video gameplay is there. Resident Evil, of course, he's well known for being a fan of that game. A Great Escape from Reality. I'm sure there's some art imitating life commentary I can insert here, but I can't be asked to make those analogies. But he's made a boatload of content public again, and this has raised a number of questions from me and many others. The first question I had in my mind was, what on earth inspired him to do this? Now this leads to a bunch of questions underneath. Is it to perhaps maintain his position within the YouTube algorithm, and is it to maintain his position within the YouTube partner program? Because as you'll notice on the gameplay footage videos, the views aren't that great. And there's no version of this where he's getting by on that if he wants to get by on it as a creator. No offense intended here, but an oversaturated market playing retro games, and these are retro, the old versions anyway, would not lend credence to the idea that you could be remotely successful, especially when your social blade quite clearly shows you aren't growing at all. Hell, your viewership for July was 14,184 views for the entire month. If you go back 2 months, you'd privated 24 million views. 1 month back, 2.2 million views. You haven't grown in subscribers since May 2023. Your channel is by any stretch of the imagination dead. You are getting closer and closer to 103,000, closer to 100,000. If you get to 100,000, you should give your play button back. That's what I think. Because just because you've earned the play button doesn't mean you should be allowed to keep the play button. Another question that comes to mind though is, what on earth is going on with the relationship between that of Keffals and Tipster, that Tipster has made his old content public again? Not all of it, just to be clear. A lot of the more recent videos where he was doing commentary was all the more left-leaning progressive crap that didn't resonate with his audience, and in fact, if anything, led to him losing more subscribers. But the older videos, over a year old, these ones are interesting because you would have thought he would notice this, unless he's just clicked on a top icon on the manager page and just allowed 50 videos to be made public again, not giving any consideration for what videos are there. And since he's not had any new comments on that recent video, he'll undoubtedly not have noticed it. Although, since he's blocked most of those that are within the commentary sphere, if he is considering a comeback, which is pointless at this point, let's face it, he would surely want to consider unblocking them first, apologising to them and anyone else he hurts at the same time, and then hoping and praying he gets an opportunity on some podcast, or maybe hosting a successful news drama channel perhaps, or maybe being invited onto somebody's very successful gaming streams. Not mine then, I get like 15 viewers, which is awesome by the way. My audience is very chatty. But yes, this raises a question, or two, or three so far. There are more. Have I written them down? Oh yes, a follow-up question. Why even bother making your content public again when none of it will get any residual views or rewatchability? So, since we know that to be the case, we have to go back to the belief that it is solely done to get one's channel put back into the algorithm, because his channel is not in good standing. Therefore, it is suppressed. He knows he's shadow banned to an extent, or was at one point when people were making videos on him on a daily. Hi, I was doing that, and more than happy to keep doing it, quite frankly. But because he removed over 26 million views, his channel was buried because there was no point promoting a channel that was going nowhere. So did he get approval from his boss, Keffy Poop? Did he give her just the tip? Or is it possible with her retiring that he is no longer as much a factor in the irrelevant one's life? Think the golden one, but now the irrelevantly golden one in the form of Keffy Poop, so much so that he can now start to be his own uniqueness again. And by uniqueness I mean 2 chins, a can of boomer juice, and a snapback. I could criticize you all day, and I'm more than happy to do it. Hannah is my friend, and you hurt her. I'm not gonna let you forget that.
Nice. It's only 12 minutes video. It's bearable. It wasn't too bad. Got to make fun of a couple dummies. Ricada Law versus Josh Moon. Cameras in the courtroom. Nick responds. There was one Alyssa clip video I did want to see. This is like an edited vid. This one.
And the Baldo will allow... Hey guys, allegedly Nick here, coming at you live through the Baldo link. This revolutionary technology from Elon Musk, OpenAI, and the Baldo will allow me to stream to you even when I'm fucked up on pure Colombian marching powder and 18-year-old scotch. They did warn me that side effects may include unintentional honesty, which is funny and weird, but I just want you all to remember, Eyes has never lied. Today we're going to talk about one of my manipulation tactics, poisoning the well. As many of you know, There's a court case coming up which has a lot of public interest. So much interest that people are filing motions to have the court proceedings filmed and live streamed in the interest of transparency. Now, I don't have an opinion on court transparency. Some people might, but not me.
Video and transparency of the courts is something I'm pretty passionate about. One, because I'm self-interested in making money off of them. Two, because it protects the people from judicial abuse or abuse by the state. And three, because it protects the citizenry from lies by people about the abuse of the state.
Interesting.
But I do know that the defendants have an interest in suppressing public access to the hearing and to deny you transparency in the system. And we'll go over a very particular tactic that's been employed. One way to suppress filming and access to the proceedings is to assert in your motion that your children are at risk because PDF files want to see them. Now, be careful here. You want to only allude to this group being PDF file adjacent or friendly. You can get sued if you actually accuse someone of being a PDF file. Believe me, I know.
Mondegraaff, he's on this thing where he's like emailing everybody I know now. Mondegraaff has always been into sucking little boy, which is weird, but that's his thing. Look, I'm not here to stop him. I'm just saying he should probably be shot in the fucking head. Mondegraaff, you're a fucking, everybody knows you're clip this all you want and sue me if you want, you fucking child molesting.
Sue me.
Fucking.
Oh no, I'm getting sued.
How about you try that? I don't care about him.
Now, I want to go through the steps by which you might want to poison the well and construct a narrative that might convince a judge to rule in your favor. First, you have to establish that the group of people are working in concert as a monolith.
So, Josh, I found this curious. He says, we're not asking you to release it.
He's talking about him and his lawyer.
It's funny because Kiwi Farms is not a monolith. I've said it a million times, but apparently they are now acting in concert according to Josh.
Remember that the owner of the site this community operates on is a party adversarial to your interests. He is attempting to get the judge to allow others to film your criminal hearings and leak evidence to the public that might be damaging to your fragile, womanly ego. So what you want to do is leak DMs in which this adversarial party has ambiguously used the word we.
Okay, Josh, that's great. We, Lamau. Because when did Kiwi Farms become we? Josh? When was that?
When it was him and his lawyer filing an FOA.
When was Kiwi Farms
for your body cam footage? Dummy. You know this.
Does anybody... I've heard Josh say a million times that Kiwi Farms is just a website.
He knows... I mean, he's a complete idiot, so he doesn't understand that nobody's going to fall for this. But he knows that if he's able to like create a narrative that Josh is implicit in the posts, that might damage his court hearing with Russell Greer, because that's, you know, contributory infringement. But I guess Nick is so out of his mind, he thinks that he can turn this into some sort of trap, and that he could just set up some sort of like verbal jujitsu. Even though he's being just clowned on and embarrassed by Josh over this body cam footage, he could be like, well, actually, no. I can turn this altercation into a plus on my end. I can get you in trouble and I can make you lose your other court case. With Russell Greer, who's suing you for like, what, $100,000 million or some dumb shit. It's never going to go through. It's just meant to annoy and distract and be vexatious. But Nick is just completely just lost it at this point. Whatever human being was inside of that bag of flesh has been hollowed out and devoured and replaced with something entirely different.
Site that people come to. It's not a collection of people acting in concert. It's anybody goes there and just gossips.
Obviously referring to him and his lawyer, who was
even if he refuses to fall into your clever trap and elaborate on the we, you can spend an inordinate amount of time focusing on this we to begin crafting the narrative that this community is a monolith. And that it is unified in its intent to get access to information about your children. Once this is done, you pay a Barneswalker an inordinate amount of money to spend time on digging into the user base of this community instead of your actual defense for your upcoming omnibus hearing.
He is terrified.
Because your ego and denying these people any satisfaction trumps your liberty. You intend to plead out anyway, because you're a little beta cuck bitch. Even if you didn't, you know you're unlikely to go to jail.
Many of you have heard that sentence, possibility is 25 years. It's a very unlikely outcome for someone like me, but it is a possibility, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things.
If you're lucky, you'll find some random degenerate who is a member of this community, a community that anyone can freely access and register for an account. And if you're really lucky, you will find his name amongst interested parties that requested access to your search warrant. I mean, the body cam footage of your arrest and search of your house ignore the fact that this individual has been a member of your local's community for 2 years. We wouldn't want to be a hypocrite or get caught in a false equivalence. Now, would we?
Chris says, objection, I do not consent to this super chat. Yes, you do. Or I'll force it on you. Chris says, objection, I do not consent to this super chat. Yes, you do. Or I'll force it on you.
Once this motion is filed, you then uncharacteristically begin making non-show related posts. Not replies. Posts. All day, attempting to paint this community as a group that accepts PDF files amongst them. Let's ignore the fact that your prior show in which you attempted to characterize this community as a monolith also included a rant about how much the owner hates PDF files and seems to accuse everyone he dislikes of being a PDF file.
Go through the list of people that Josh used to like and who he doesn't like now, and look at how many of them he has called a pedophile.
Now you have crafted the narrative.
Well, that just shows that once he receives like believable evidence, he disavows people, which is a good thing, and more people should do. Phil,
trying to get access to your body cam footage and criminal hearings.
Other people would just be like, "Oh, well, I can't control."
And that your children, where one has tested positive for cocaine, are at risk, and you allow all of your sycophants and balda washers to parrot the same at absolutely no risk to you catching yet another defamation claim. And finally, as a coup de grace, you break your habit of only one show a week, if you manage that at all, to suddenly have a second show. One specifically dedicated to propagate the smear. And you do this with a guest who's not only your internet e-daddy, whose life you wish you had before you said yes to the first woman to give you the time of day. But this e-daddy has also run afoul of his own accusations of being a PDF file.
Are all these Zoomer Puritans bitching about kid drag shows similarly offended against public nudity? Are they protesting the FBI female and body inspector shirt guy at the swap meet? I hope food shortages hit this country like a ton of brick. To which Tiny Flirk replies, in which Diddler Dax defends grown men in thongs twerking for children and having them put dollar bills in their ass at a gay bar. I don't know why he became so black in that tweet, but okay. Am I missing a joke here? Is this parody help? To which he gets blocked by Dick.
There we go.
And he hosts a show with another degenerate who is also an alleged PDF file. You really want to go for that brass ring when it comes to the hypocrisy of your positions. And that is how you poison the well.
Well, there is your Nick Rekieta update. He is having a very bad day. Literally, like, all of his content now is talking about his own court proceedings. We're not really a LawTube channel anymore, just like a personal drama channel. Completely completing his transition into being a lolcow. Brand Dude streaming. Let's check him out. What's Brand Dude talking about? I wonder what he's talking about.
Well, we start off with the big dog. $5 super chat, and he says that he really likes the way that I say, Doody streams. Ooh, Doody.
All right.
I guess he likes the way I say it. You know, people who like to go over and you know, play with duty. Go ahead and enjoy.
You're the one who tells people to eat poop out of your butt. So,
but if you like playing with duty, it's just the kind of thing that, you know, it's not advisable. you could probably end up harming yourself or getting sick when you play with Duty. But
Okay.
hey, the Duty is over there to be played with if you like.
What was that? Oh,
there
the
you
sticky
go.
keys thing?
Thank you to the big dog. However, my keyboard just stopped working.
How is that not karma?
Wonder
He's
if the
talking
batteries are
shit
low.
and his computer
Right, the batteries are low. He didn't hear the sound?
has a bunch of
Oh,
issues.
he doesn't have headphones in, right?
Oh god, that was so annoying.
Wait a minute.
He
No,
doesn't just
I
tap
am
it once,
clicked
he gets
in
like
there.
a dozen times. Whatever noise aversion I
What is
have
going on?
that Indrid
It's
has.
showing as being. Oh no, it's dead. The
You have the
batteries
same
are dead.
issue.
The batteries are dead. The light just faded out. Okay, I got to get more batteries. I got to get more
He just
batteries.
spams
for...
the key over and over again.
Oh, you heard a beep? Sticky keys. You heard a beep? Yeah, the light died on this, so I think the keyboard just died. I think I need to get more batteries for it.
Right.
But I don't know what sticky keys is if it enables.
Yeah, this haircut. I haven't even mentioned the haircut, dude. What the hell's going on?
It. All right, hold on.
Fuck my shit up, Chief. What the fuck happened?
All right.
I wonder how much he spends for that haircut. Probably upwards of like $40 to $50.
I just paused the recording. I'm just gonna run downstairs and grab some more AAAs. I guess they're dead because, like I said, the light.
You know what's funny? Like,
turned right off.
I got this
So finally
new
dead.
mouse, right?
Yeah, they're
I will
dead.
be right back.
I got this like $8 mouse. Fuck it, it's just a mouse. I've had the red light blinking on it, you know, the low battery notification. So when it started, I went and got some batteries. And, you know, I just waited for the battery to die in order to use it. But this little red light has been blinking for like 3 or 4 weeks now. Like, it's just been on low battery forever. It's kind of funny.
We didn't hear the sticky keys or anything.
Like, okay, I guess let me know when you die.
There's his
but,
castle,
or
his
you could just
kingdom,
keep the warning going
his
forever.
throne is in there. For now, okay, we're gonna.
Nah, I have no keyboard. I think it's working. Hold on.
It's not. We hear the clicky clicky.
Oh god, something screwed up.
No.
Something is screwed up. I can't even.
In the
click
middle,
when I'm clicking.
like being.
It's
like,
auto selecting a
"You
ton of
play
shit,
with
and I don't know what's going on.
Duty?
Why is it doing that?
It's bad. By the way, you poop out of my butt.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh fuck, my
Shift
computer's
5
fucking
times,
up.
It should get rid of sticky keys.
Great
I
karma.
pressed it on. I did it on the wrong.
This guy
PC.
believes in karma.
Nice.
So you might as well hold him up to it.
Wait,
No,
what
see,
is
it's not working
happening?
because-
Why do we hear PC sounds from multiple PCs?
Shit. All right, hold on. I don't know what's going on.
This guy
on.
built computers, you guys.
Oh boy, what a great video! I did not pre-screen this, as you could tell. It's a lot of
The absolute weirdest shit is going
There
on.
we
I
go.
got more technical difficulties. Okay, so basically, when I go to click or select anything, it's selecting a whole row of it at once instead of just what I want to select. So I can't even like click and type because it just selects the whole thing, and I don't know what's going on. Like I'm on my desktop and I click on one icon and it selects a whole row of icons. So what the fuck is going on?
Sounds
What
like your
happened
shift
now?
key is being held down.
Right?
shift key.
Right?
Does anyone know what that could be?
It's they're
It
telling
selects
you.
a whole bunch of shit at once instead of
It's
just
the
one
shift
item when you
key.
click.
It's
Because it
like
might not even been the
locked.
batteries. It might have been something else going wrong. And it's on everything. It's on. I just tried it on this wireless mouse and my wired mouse, and it's doing exactly the same thing.
Could you imagine
how do I
this
fix
dude
that?
working customer support trying to help you with your issue? And then he needs to call his own customer support to get his computer working?
Okay.
What is
Looks like
sticky
the
keys?
Just let me use the
X-Men
Windows key.
Evolution Rogue.
I'm on the phone with a client.
Not
Can
on the
you help
wireless
me?
keyboard.
It's
My
pretty cool. It's
computer's
got like
being
the semi-transparent.
Disconnect the keyboard and reconnect to Windows. I have 2 keyboards.
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
Your sticky keys enabled. Need to go to settings, ease of access, keyboard. Go
Kind
to
of
your
a
sticky keys and set it
complex
off. Okay.
edition. Don't
So
usually
let's
have
see.
these, except for like
Go into
classes. and stuff.
settings. This is Windows 8. There is no settings, by the way.
Everyone's
Oh, I
favorite
guess there is.
version of Rogue.
Ease
What?
of access.
There's Windows 8. There is
Yeah, I
no
told-
settings. He was trying to.
I told Gundam that the Acolyte was canceled. So the Acolyte ends on the hero becoming a villain and the villain being mentally regressed to like what 12 years old or whatever. So that's how the series ends. The series just ends on that. That's the conclusion of the entire Acolyte saga. The hero becomes the villain and the villain becomes the baby brain. The end.
trying to say
Okay, no resolution to that plotline.
there's no settings.
Thanks, Leslie. Go join fucking Harvey Weinstein in jail, you dumb bitch.
What? All
Where would it
right.
be? Under keyboard?
At least
No,
they were
it's
able to
under,
burn through a
desktop.
$130
No
million
display.
budget.
Display
Filter
settings.
keys. Sticky keys is off. Sticky keys is off. Toggle keys is off. Filter keys is on. And it says ignore brief or repeated keystrokes.
Yeah, the hero ends in a toxic relationship with the
Sticky
guy
keys
who
is
killed
off.
all her
Sticky keys is
friends.
not enabled. That's not what's going on.
It is though.
It's exactly what happened.
Welcome.
I have no idea what's happening.
Also, like, someone in the comments helped me out. You know, in the last scene where the little gopher alien dude fucks with Soul's ship. Like, Soul is trying to pursue fucking what's her name, May. And so the gopher just like fucks that whole thing up. You know why he did that? Because he was trying to save the little robot. Yeah, Basil. He was trying to save the little robot because him and the little robot became friends. And so that's why he didn't want Soul to shoot down May's ship. That's why. I was like, oh, I get it now. It makes so little sense, but that's the reason. It's like, why would you be trying to protect May? Like, you don't, like, you're just betraying the Jedi at that point. And it's like, oh, you're trying to protect that little robot. It's so stupid.
Morgana, I said probably. We probably will be checking him out live. Man, this is a crazy segment. All of this because he was shitting on duty and he started spamming the shift key for some reason. Like, does he spam the key to even type something in capital letters? He spams the shift key?
Nope. I put sticky keys on. The problem is it's not even sticky key. It can't be the keyboard. The mouse, when I click on anything with the mouse, it selects the whole line. So, for example, I just opened up my leaderboard and I click to try to like edit the leaderboard. It immediately auto-selects the entire line of text.
It can't be the keyboard.
So it's not the keyboard. The keyboard doesn't auto-select an entire line. You see, something is going wrong.
It does
here.
when you're holding shift at the same time, retard.
And I don't know what the hell it is. I've never seen this happen.
This guy's
before.
so consistently stupid. You can't watch any other content creator, anyone involved with any sort of scandal that everyone's like, why don't you focus on this?
No
Google
mouse button
said.
is stuck.
You
No
can't
mouse
tune
button
into
is
their
stuck.
stream
What
and
are you
find
talking about? No, it's not
47
stuck.
different stupid things said within a minute. Why do you think this
Restart
guy
the
gets so
computer,
much
then the
negative
stream's gotta
attention?
go down.
Think about it.
Then the whole video has to stop.
Yeah, does he like unpress the shift key and then press it again per letter?
Stream will end.
Is that why this happened?
I guess we could resume the stream.
Probably. Who knows what level of stupidity this guy engages in.
No, I can't turn the keyboard off and on. There is no switch, but when you take the batteries out, it goes off and on. I already did that. I just swapped the batteries. That didn't do anything. And like I said, it's not just the wireless keyboard. The wired keyboard is over there is having the issue. Both mice are doing it. When I click with either mouse, it does it. So it's a Windows thing. It's not a hardware thing.
It's a Windows.
Saying mice instead of mouses, like it's an animal.
Windows thinks the shift key is stuck.
That's so annoying.
Not on that keyboard anyway.
Yes, it is.
Why can we hear all his typing?
Oh my
I don't
God,
know. I
bro.
never have
What?
sticky
I don't want to
keys.
hear this.
Okay, hold on.
Disable all that shit. I don't know what
Hold
this
on.
is.
It's so annoying.
Okay.
And it was like an hour of this.
It just did in. It's not working.
Oh my God.
Let me see if the other keyboard works. Hold on. Let me see if
No, I'm not. Let me see if it works. Hold on. I'm sure all the Keynote people really love sitting through all that. What about Atlas? Help me out, Atlas, the bookkeeper.
It's better to see them see. It's better content, right? Someone could literally hand me $1 million right now. I didn't say this to them, but this is what it's going through my mind. Someone could hand me $1 million right now on stream, and I would still say I have to go because my wife is more important. Everyone's going to want to see the reaction to this documentary. Everyone.
She didn't care.
It's a lot. Let me put it this way. It's a lot of pressure, okay? And usually pressure's not a big deal
But
for me.
any excuse
But
to
in this
fuck
case, it's going
over
to be.
people who are supporting him, I guess.
So today we're going to be looking at the day after the casino collab. After at least a week of hype, all the glazing, all the misplaced confidence, the event happened, and this is the feel that we get the following day.
I was like, dude, it feels different, and it's changing a thing for the better. This is the feeling that I used to get, you know, back when I was a bigger YouTuber and everything that I did, no one cared what it was, they liked it. I could play a game no one ever heard of, and no one cared about, people loved it anyway. Because they were watching it for me and my commentary as well as the game. They liked me that.
Always had
you know what
people
I'm
who
saying?
didn't like you. No, I don't know what
If
you're
this
saying.
weren't DSP, this would just be remarkably sad. Here you have a 42-year-old man lamenting on his past, remembering when he was relevant and popular. As strange as that is to remember, there was in fact a time where he was a popular content creator. But now, here he sits, talking about how he's got that old feeling back. He got his groove back, so to speak, and all of it stems from one incredibly cringe collab stream where he sat timid and meager 75% of the time, and the other 25% of the time were hypocritical, nonsensical talking points that led to nothing more than secondhand embarrassment for the audience. To be fair to DSP, the stream happened. He made a bunch of money and didn't get torn apart upon first contact with the outside world. This, in the book of DSP at least, can be chalked up as a rare win for the guy, and it's all thanks to the fellas over at the casino. I do have to thank God that they actually know how to perform and move a stream along though, because regardless of how you feel about their style and their humor, DSP was never going to be up to that challenge. He was never going to be able to make the stream move how it needed to. Hell, as it stands right now, he was very clearly the least entertaining and least energetic of the three.
And this is just crazy because, again, not necessarily that the Kino Casino guys are in love with me or anything. They're not. All right. I think that they know that I've made mistakes.
Certainly act like they want to fuck you.
Have made, have made issues. No one's perfect, right? But I
no
think
one's
number
accusing
one,
you of being
to the other
perfect.
people they
Never
cover,
have. Never will.
they realize that I'm like the guy at the very, very, very bottom of the fuck up totem pole. That there's so many people above me that have done so many awful things yet persist on the internet.
What actually is Dr. Disrespect guilty of? Chatting up a 17-year-old? That thing that you did? So let's add on everything that you've done that's fucked up that he hasn't done. But we're supposed to be going after Dr. Disrespect? Like, no thank you. I can't tune in to a Dr. Disrespect stream and within 5 minutes hear 75 fucking brain dead, stupid, idiotic thing that I can react to. So this is why DSP gets made fun of.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you. You know who I'm talking about.
People don't act like that. They act like I'm the worst, right? And they don't get that. So now by acting the opposite and basically treating me nicely and showing me and my content to a wider audience, they've realized that it's flipped everything on its head.
No, it hasn't.
Now,
but go ahead and think that.
But it helps everyone. It helps them to make
It helps
good
us
content.
that you're
It helps you make
delusional and
better
completely
content.
detached from
Obviously, everyone's
reality
getting
because it makes the
the
content
positivity and
funnier.
support. So who's the real loser here in this situation?
You.
There's only one. My detractors.
Are the detractors losing? As
And
much
is
as
there
this arc
only
isn't my
one?
personal favorite, it is very interesting in the grand scheme, and there are many new characters that have entered into the Snortags. It's not too often things like that happen, especially recently, so if anything, the detractors are eating better now than they have been for a while. Now when it comes to DSP being better than other degenerate lolcows on the internet, my only answer is yeah, obviously. As greasy and sleazy as DSP is, he's not a violent criminal, someone with freakish kinks, or any other garbage like that. He's just a scamming sleazeball who has the worst performance etiquette I've ever seen. Of course, I'm leaving out some of his more prominent traits for brevity's sake, but you get the point. You don't have to be the worst to still be worth following and laughing at though, and that seems to be the part he doesn't seem to understand. He could be the least degenerate lolcow and still get clowned. It makes no difference. Maybe one day he'll get it, but today isn't that day apparently.
They're the only losers in this situation because they don't have a narrative anymore. What's happening is people realize the narrative was always false. It was things that they just over-exaggerated for their own personal gain. And now what's happening is people are realizing it's more fun to make the haters seethe than to f with me and my business. You see? It's more fun to see a group of basement dwellers who have absolutely no lives actually freak out that everything they did for 10 years has been meaningless because it's all being erased right now, versus seeing me get angry because I lost another opportunity, I lost more money, someone hit me with bullshit takedowns and copyright strikes and shit like that. It's better to see them see. It's better content, right?
I personally cannot stand him constantly saying seethe now. It's just odd coming from him, and only made worse by the fact that I know that it only entered his vocabulary recently when he was introduced to the casino and their fans. I have to ask though, regarding the seething, where are these detractors that he's talking about? Could he name names? And I don't ask that in any way other than genuinely, because I just haven't seen it. The only reactions I've seen are people enjoying the clown show for what it is, or people saying that it's cringe and unwatchable. No one, from what I've seen at least, is out here upset about the fact that DSP is being milked for more content by different trolls. Speaking of trolls, I can't help but think about how ironic it is when DSP talks about his detractors as basement-dwelling losers, when he is confirmed to be the one trapped in his fire hazard of an office for hours on end, begging for $50 so that he can pull those oh-so-lucrative Hogans, and refuse to leave his house more than once a week.
So, this is cool, all right? And I'm happy, and I just want to let you guys know, yeah, I'm feeling good right now. I mean, everything has been going so well. Just take a look at the last couple of weeks, right? Gaming PC, new camera, both donated.
You're just having like entire hours upon hours of your stream dedicated to like
with the Kino
fucking
Casino,
up,
appearing on their show, having them be on my show, making great content together. Everyone's succeeding. I mean, this is amazing, right? This is all amazing. And the only thing right now that's putting a damper. The only thing that's dampening, the only thing that's bringing this down, there's a word, I can't think of the word.
The word is undiagnosed
There's something
ADD,
that's nagging in the back of my
word.
head, and I think you guys know what it is. It's the upcoming June the King documentary on me. Because it's 4 hours long.
And this is when the high highs start to become the low lows, because even after all of the positivity and newfound love from the casino, he can't help but think about the future. It's a curse placed upon every man to comprehend the passage of time and be able to understand that the future exists, and DSP is no exception to this rule, and unfortunately for him, as he's learned through his life, inevitably his actions will catch up to him, and he will have to face the repercussions of his own behaviors. It was all sunshine and rainbows when it was Rich's head on the June style chopping block, but now that he's next up, he can't help but wish that he wasn't. And while Rich's time was short, only clocking in about an hour, Phil has a multi-hour dissection coming for all to see.
This thing's going to be insane. This thing's going to be so in-depth that you know it's going to cover every little thing that I've done over the years, you know?
No, it's not even going to come
close. Imagine
close.
how much is going to be squeezed into that react. And the funny part is,
hyping up his own destruction
people are
so
already
he can
saying,
be disappointed by it.
Phil, are you going to do a co-op commentary on your own React with Kino Casino?
Do they cross their
It's
arms when
literally
they say
not
that?
even feasible. It's 4 hours long. For me to just comment on it, you know, like take a look. Hour and a half Rich documentary. It took us over 4 hours to get through it. 4 hour documentary, no exaggeration. That's probably going to be like a 10-hour React, if not longer.
As much as I look forward to seeing him try and justify his own actions and make excuses for his entire past, I don't know if I'm quite ready for possibly 10 hours of it. Honestly though, he has no business dragging it out that much. Any content creator worth their salt would be capable of making their points not only coherent, but comprehensible while still moving at a reasonable pace, turning a 4-hour documentary into a 6 or 7 hour react. DSP is not that though. He's not worth his salt. He is incapable of matter-of-factly getting to his point without a ridiculous amount of tangents and side stories along the way. That's one of the many things that makes his content so monotonous. Every story or segment is 3 times as long as it has any business being because he just talks himself in circles time after time. And it appears as if he's planning to make that the case for the June doc. How exciting.
So just so you guys know, because many of you I know, again, are new, you've only just started coming by in the past couple of weeks, the way that I'm planning to tackle my own documentary is I can't sacrifice all of my normal content for the React. I know a lot of people want me to. Like, dude, clear your schedule.
That's
when your
not normal
documentary
content.
comes out,
That's
just react to it for 3
bullshit,
days straight.
fuck off content.
You got to understand something. I'm here because of my core audience, the people who have supported me day in, day out for 16 years. They want to see me play all the new hot releases coming out. And it starts in just a week. In 1 week is Black Myth Wukong. Right after that, there's Star Wars Outlaws. There's the upcoming Black Ops 6 beta. And the cool thing about the beta is I have a gaming PC to play it on now at 120 hertz. And people want to see me play it and see how it performs, but see how I do now. This is all stuff my audience has been hotly anticipating. Okay? I can't just drop everything and clear my schedule to react to the June the King documentary in full.
He doesn't have to drop everything though. The video will be 4 hours. If he just cleared a day's worth of streams for this, he should, in concept at least, have more than enough time to watch and react to the entire thing. If that wasn't the case though, could he not just make this a marathon style event and actually give it some sort of hype? This seems like the type of event that he should be hyping up, the type of event that people might actually be interested in watching. He's been talking about it consistently for months, so why doesn't he just give it the attention that it deserves and make it a marathon style and bang it out? Why spread out this video over multiple days? I mean, people were blessed with the ability to recall memories, but stopping a movie halfway through to finish it 3 days later is just odd. And I don't think that this situation is really any different. I just can't wait to hear how viewership is dropping off on the subsequent sessions, because anybody who was really interested and enthralled by the story continues to watch the doc after DSP got off stream. It's like this guy chooses to be his own worst enemy every single day.
So here's how I'm going to attack it. All right. Day streams, meaning this stream right now will be a podcast and gameplay.
Shut up. Next costume. Let's see. Got these to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to make a new poll with all these -2. Next costume. About Kyrie, Moira, Batgirl, Nefer-P2, and Zhu-Wan from ZZZ. Start poll.
So let's say Black Myth Wukong comes out, but then a day into it, my documentary drops. Okay? So it's going to be podcast, gameplay on the first stream, break. My night stream will be exclusively reacting to this documentary. Okay? So that way we're splitting it half and half, and I'm not really neglecting stuff. Okay? And so that's how I'm going to attack it. But here's the thing. That I can't do that with those guys. I can't, my night streams are 2-3 hours tops. I can't go super late.
So not only is it going to be stretched out over multiple days, but it's also going to be relegated entirely to the night streams. The streams notorious for having less viewership. None of this plan makes any sense. He is in one of the least convenient time zones for the entire world, and his grand idea is to make all of the streams at the worst time. It's like he doesn't want people to care about this documentary or see it at all. On one hand, the less people that see it, the better. Obviously, that's pretty easy to understand, but if they were going to see it, if people were interested in watching it, and they definitely are, you'd think that he would at least want it to be viewed through his stream, where he can attempt to pignatize as many people as possible. And you would think that given DSP's recent interest in moving away from gameplay and more into his talking and reacting, that this would be the perfect time to fully demonstrate how that could look. Yet, right now, when it would be legitimately appropriate to do so, he isn't actually committing to it and instead trying to do a balancing act for those few dents out there who actually enjoy the gameplay, a rarer breed by the day. Everything is just so bass-ackwards with the guy. I'm always left wondering how he makes the decisions that he does.
My wife has work. I want to spend time with her every night. And this is something, I will say this. Out of the entire night last night, okay, the only time that I felt uncomfortable or pressured is because those guys were absolutely adamant that we finished reacting to the Review Tech documentary in that setting. And they're even saying, they're pressuring me, like, dude, you spent a lot of money, you should stick around. I'm like, guys, you got to understand something. Someone could literally hand me $1 million fucking dollars right now. I didn't say this to them, but this is what it's going through my mind. Someone could hand me $1 million right now on stream, and I would still say I have to go because my wife is more important. You understand? She is. Money is just fleeting. Having a relationship with someone you truly love is more important to me. Okay? So I had to get out of here. I couldn't stay late. All right, I already laid down that, right?
I'm sure she knows, but if she doesn't, I hope after hearing this, Kat realizes that she married an absolute idiot. I don't care who you are or what your situation is. If there was actually $1 million on the table and you chose 45 extra minutes laying in bed with your wife over that, you're a complete imbecile. I know that he's being hyperbolic, exaggerating, if you will, but he very specifically chose $1 million to emphasize how serious and how big of a deal this was, and for that he should be mocked. And Any wife who lives in reality would absolutely be floored if they found out that their husband had turned down $1 million just to lay in bed and pull Hogan's while they tried to sleep. He thinks that this is endearing and a display of what a good husband he is, but all it really illustrates is that his priorities are all screwed up, and he can't understand that while some choices are better in the short term, that others could work out better in the long term. Imagine how many days off they could have spent together after $1 million. She could have quit her job and never worked again with that kind of safety net. That's of course assuming an alcoholic gambling addict wasn't in charge of the finances, of course.
So with these with this documentary coming up, what I'm planning to do is split it up into basically doing like 2-hour chunks. So I'll do gameplay, 2-hour react chunk to the first part of my documentary. Next day, gameplay, and then another 2-hour react chunk to the next part of my documentary. So you see what I'm saying? So I'm doing it like that. There's no way the guys from Kino Casino are going to want to be every night. All they're doing is reacting to my documentary. And let's be honest, it's give or take as well. I showed up on their show, so they showed up on mine, right? So we, it's kind of like boop, ba-doop, you go back and forth, you help each other out. It's not going to be, oh, now they're going to be on my streams every night for a week and not make content for themselves. That's insane. Who would even ask that? What kind of a selfish, dumbass thing would that be to ask someone, hey, could you just cancel all your work this week and make no money so you can be on my streams to give me money? Kind of unreasonable, don't you think?
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, the longest way to convey the simplest concept. Just say you wouldn't bother burdening them with that many collabs back to back to back to back to back, like Drake. He just talks about everything in the most convoluted, roundabout way to pad out these streams and postpone the gameplay as much as possible. This is also yet another example of him jumping the gun when it comes to these collabs, something that I've talked about already rather recently, so I'll let it go, but I did want to point it out.
So yeah, so that's coming, and that's the truth. The one thing that's dampening, I keep saying dampening, that's not the word. Bringing me down. What's the word for if you're getting brought down? Like it's kind of like putting the kibosh on the fun. I can't think of what the word is. I don't know. I'm sure someone's gonna say it in the chat, and I'm gonna feel stupid because I can't think of it. But the only thing that's bringing me down right now is this impending documentary. Yeah, I guess looming. That's a good word for it. It's a looming documentary. Because I know for a fact when this comes out, there's shit that I've done over the years that, number one, no one's really talked about in a documentary. My Street Fighter years and shit, nobody knows about that. And they're going to see that and they're going to be like, wow, he was an asshole. Now, I think a lot of people will just laugh about it. But the thing is, you're dredging up stuff that literally is so outdated, has nothing to do with who I am. And that was pre-YouTube. That was a life ago, right? And I've already apologized out my ass about it, saying I really regret how I acted back then.
You most definitely have not apologized out the ass for any of that, though. In fact, you did nothing but make up excuses and obfuscate the truth as often as you could. To this day, he talks bad about almost every single person involved in the early FGC, especially the Cannon brothers. Two guys who were wildly successful and almost single-handedly responsible for the competitive fighting game scene being as large as it is today. It's also incredibly rude to say that no one has covered those super early days. Meanwhile, the Dead Sea Scrolls exists and has breathed a new life into the long-forgotten lore that was the old FGC days. Could you just put some respect on ALT's name? Because I couldn't imagine anyone else taking the time to not only curate those posts, but also read them out in an entertaining and coherent fashion. It's probably thanks to him alone that June was even able to gather any of that information up to begin with. And he tries to downplay these years of his life as well by referring to them as a life ago. Not only does that not make any sense, because who the hell is only living for 20 years or so, but it also doesn't excuse any of the things that he said or did back then.
The other part of it is going to be dredging up things about my ex, which again, that's another past part of my life that I don't even talk about her for a good reason, because I'm past that. I'm happily married, and having to bring up stuff about my ex and stuff. And it's going to be a big part of the documentary, because when I was with my ex, that was a lot of reasons why a lot of people started to hate on me. They said that I changed, and instead I was making content with her, and my content was changing. They didn't like that. They didn't like her and her personality, right? It's a big thing. And I know that that's going to be something that we have to now drag through the mud again. I don't want to drag that through the mud again, but we have to. We have to go there, right? That's part of my history.
You don't have to do anything because you don't have to watch the doc at all. If he didn't want to talk about Panda Lee, he could do the same thing during that segment that he plans on doing during the WWE Champions segment. And by that, I mean just skip it after giving his lies and retcons. It really is simple as. Don't forget though that Panda being a part of the content was entirely his idea. He was the one who wanted to make her a part of the videos. He was the one who repeatedly brought her into the content despite his own audience expressly telling him that they did not enjoy the addition of her and that the way he behaved around her was also unappreciated. So really it just serves him right having to address the entire situation now that he created. Reap and sow.
And like I said, the last several years with this stupid financial shit and bankruptcy shit and mobile game shit, I'm so exhausted with it already. I'm completely exhausted. Because here's the thing. You want to talk about my Street Fighter days? No one's really talked about it yet. For me, that'll actually be kind of refreshing to talk about something new from my past and try to give my perspective and clear the air about certain things. That's new content to cover, right? But to have to go through the dirty laundry of my ex and talk about this shit about finances and shit I've already talked about a million times, right? It's going to be incredibly stressful. It's going to be draining. I'm going to feel like a fighter who's already gone 10 rounds. And now they said, oh, by the way, time for another 10 fucking bonus rounds. Even though you got through it, the fight continues. Like, when does the fight end, right? When does my time to stop having to respond to this fucking toxic shit about me end? When can I just enjoy my life?
The day that you log off permanently, and I don't mean dying, I mean literally logging off the internet indefinitely. That will be the day that he no longer has to answer for his actions and past behaviors. 16 years of content creation, 16 years of content with endless examples of him being insufferable by every metric. If carrying that burden is really that taxing, if it is really that much weight on your shoulders, go ahead and clock out, boss. Because at no point should anyone let him forget just how awful he's been on the internet. Notice though that right now, before the doc has even come out, he's already prepared and even looking forward to setting the record straight and clearing the air on certain things revolving around his early Street Fighter days. If no one has talked about this before, according to him, how the hell would he know there are things to debunk and clarify? It's as if he's already concocting whatever narrative he wants to spin to excuse his actions, and that's just despicable.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, why do I have to constantly keep responding to the toxicity, negativity, and the dumb shit people say about me? Why can't I just say, hey, let's talk about today and the future? Because it's all that shit's in the past. I'm not, all that stuff, just forget it all. You know what I'm saying? But no, we've got to do it again. We're doing it again. We're going through it again. And everyone's going to want to see me react to this documentary. Everyone. It's like the biggest thing right now is that because I just did the rich one. Now everyone wants to see me react to my own.
That girl.
It's a lot. Let me put it this way: it's a lot of pressure.
So much pressure, dude.
And usually, pressure's not a big deal for me.
You don't have to watch it.
Case,
you didn't watch the Turkey Tom documentary. Why do you have to watch this one?
I really am. Like, I'm getting too old for it now.
Getting too old for this shit.
I don't care about it, so that's why I don't talk about it. But now I have to talk about it again, the millionth fucking time. I'm just enough of it.
I don't know.
But
you're literally just making.
I'm gonna do it. Or I'm gonna man up and I'm gonna do it. But I know
you don't sound like
so
you're manning up. You sound like you're being a bitch about it.
I'm gonna be playing new challenging video games in the first stream, and then I have to come get beat up on my late stream every day.
Oh my god. When?
When?
I'm manning up. This is what manning up looks like.
He has to play brand new video games on his first stream and then lie on his late stream? Truly a horrid life that no one could make it through. Thank God we have DSP to carry this burden for us. I'm not at all surprised to hear him longing for the day that everyone forgets about his past and only talks about the future and present though. Zero accountability and zero responsibility are what DSP yearns for the most. And I'll say it outright, I am glad to see him this down and miserable about his own upcoming documentary. After the hypocritical event that was the Kino collab, this is exactly what he deserves, nothing less.